Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you are all well. The Saturday morning streams are back. I do think the Saturday morning streams are my favourites. We've had Fridays, we've had Tuesdays, but we are back. And then we're only back for a couple of weeks, and then we have I think it's like a 16-day break or something from FPL, which is always welcome, especially if you're on a red arrow. But let me know what you're doing. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and hopefully we'll have an enjoyable next 2 hours. Good to see so many of you already in the chat. I do appreciate it. I know this week might be a little bit more, maybe a bit more relaxed, given that I think a lot of people are rolling. Maybe some of the key decisions around bringing in a forward to replace Cunha Mateta. Maybe something like a defender transfer if you've got Lewis Hall. And then maybe just, I was going to say benching decisions, but if you are in a position where you've got a benching headache, I hate you. Because most people have got some sort of issue that decides it for them. Tuning in from Nepal, been hiking in the Himalayas. Fair play. I wish I was hiking in the Himalayas. Big up rap to my guy. Big up to you. Saturday's back. Hope you're good, mate. Cheers from Sweden. Big love to Sweden. We do love Sweden. Wood against City, his worst numbers. I've just got a feeling that Wood could do well this week, believe it or not, and I don't normally, which probably means he'll blank. Because I normally I'm not actually a Chris Wood believer. Despite owning Chris Wood, I'm not a true believer. Kieran, in nice and early with a super chat, said team is Sells, Munoz, Kirkes, Gabriel, Trent, Vandenberg, Salah, Palmer, Trossard, Dango, Cliver, Wood, Wisser, Isak. Lovely team. 2.1 in the bank. Roll this week. 3 free transfers. Next week, Wisser to Haaland, Palmer to Minte, Trent to Guardiol. Wildcard 31. Love the content. Thank you very much, Kieran. That's a beautiful plan. I love the idea of bringing in Haaland, Guardiol. Minte could be a cheeky little punt. My only concern is Minte plays against Guardiol. So you're bringing in Minte and Guardiol who play against each other. That would be the only slight concern with that plan. If you could afford Anthony Elanga, I'd probably slightly prefer Anthony Elanga for 29, but that's a very nice plan. And yeah, I will be there with you on the 31 wildcard. Very tempted to pull the Haaland card this week. How are you doing that, Frosty, though? That was Pickle went, oh, Frosty. Pickle said to me a couple of times, she's like, where's Frosty? I've not seen Frosty on Twitter. Right. Let me go on. Which button am I clicking? How many times have I done the deadline stream? This one. There we go. Here's my team as things stand. When I say devastated about Jean-Philippe, I mean devastated. You know? Does anyone else think it's more likely Pedro gets benched this week? He got 120 minutes in the cup. Maybe. This is the issue and the risk, isn't it, with players like this? But I think he still probably starts. I'm so tired. No, JP. Oh, JP. So I thought you said you look so tired. I was like, all right, love, sorry. Isak Mateta and then 1 mil elsewhere. Oh, fair play, Frosty. If that's the route, I've got a feeling Isak. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but I'm a little bit worried. I guess he plays on Monday, doesn't he? Isak Mateta and 1 million elsewhere. I wonder if I could do it that route. But then where'd you find that million? I think, in fact, I think I've looked at that and thought, yeah, that looks fine, but then where'd you find the million? It's probably Brian and Burmo. Are you thinking of making any transfers, boss? Not at the moment, but if we get towards the deadline and I think there's a good chance that any of my players miss out completely, then I might, because I'm viewing it this way, right? I think that Isak might not play, in which case I'd get Robinson off the bench, which is fine. But then if another player misses out, I'm literally down to 10. Who is the best Hall replacement? I think, one sec, I might still have a graphic here. 2 seconds. Not this one. Ignore that. This is from... Do I still have the graphic? Yeah, here. Now, since saying Doherty as a decent cheap defender, I did see FPL Blackwolf said that Doherty might not be nailed now. So ignore Doherty. That could be Agbadu. But I think for me it's Guardiol if you can get there. And if you can't get there with Guardiol, I would probably go 8 Nuri. Munoz, I still think is worth considering, even with the blank in 29. And I think maybe Milenkovic would be next after that. I do like Nico Williams. I just think he's slightly less nailed than someone like Milenkovic or Murillo. Ivan says, hi, Ross. Hello, Ivan. Bench 2, Trent, Timber, 8 Nuri, Robinson, Salah, Palmer, Mbermo, Cliver, Wanyeri. So definitely not Trent. I wouldn't bench Timber, in all honesty, against Manchester United. I think maybe Robinson and 8 Nuri. I think Robinson and Aït-Nouri would be the two that I'd bench there. If you need to bench one defender, one attacker, then probably Robinson and Nwaneri. But I think Nwaneri could cause us some issues. I really do. I think he'll pick up pockets that we can't really deal with. Luke with the super chat. Good to see you, my friend, as always. Hey, mate, hope you're well. I'm doing well, thank you. Plan to roll this week. Would have 3 free transfers in 29. Okay, very nice. Plan is Trent to Gvardiol, Palmer to Elanga, Cunha to Haaland. I've got a very similar plan myself, and I love that. I think Gvardiol and Haaland are my two priorities for 29. Should have 11 players, but one of them is Dango. If I transfer Rodgers out for a -4, who are we looking to buy? I mean, I'd be semi-tempted to take out Dango rather than Rodgers, but if you are going to sell Rodgers rather than Dango, it's probably still a Bournemouth mid, if not Elanga, right? You've already said that you're getting Elanga, so it's probably still Semenyo or Kluivert. If you don't want Semenyo or Kluivert, Minte's not bad, but then if you've got Gvardiol again, you're backing hopefully a Man City clean sheet. At that cheaper price, I don't think there are many others. I mean, Hudson-Odoi, if you want to go all in on the Nottingham Forest attack. But Ipswich does feel like a game, they've done it before, where they could bench one of Elanga or Hudson-Odoi. I'd probably say Semenyo would be my shout there. Hayden says, 1 free transfer, but got Gakpo, Isak, and Wood. Okay. Gakpo to Marmoush. I don't mind that at all. Yeah, I do still think I marginally prefer Whistle. Let me find that other graphic that I had. I'm just using all the graphics for my deadline stream here, but I had this. This is my ranking of the forwards to buy based on everything put together: value, price, fixtures. I like Marmoush, but I wonder if there are better forwards to target. But the fixtures are definitely there to attack. I actually think Eva Nilsson could be the shout if you're not tripled up on Bournemouth already. He's probably going to start. That seems to be the prediction, so could do really well. The next question was, buy Eva Nilsson now or hold Watkins one more round? I'd hold Watkins for one more game week. Yeah, I don't think Eva Nilsson is a much better option than Watkins this week. But obviously in 29 he definitely is. So yeah, I would do it next week. And also get another week of information. I don't think this will happen, but let's say Eva Nilsson only gets 60 minutes, then that might put you off. Equally, if Eva Nilsson gets 90 and looks really good, then that might make you more sure on the transfer. So Taylor says, who to bench? Nwaneri, Gabriel, or Colwill? Cheers. Oh, that's really tough. I mean, probably in that situation, it may well be Nwaneri, because Gabriel and Colwill feel pretty locked on for clean sheets, in all honesty. I'd probably say Nwaneri there, but I don't like that. Izzy Gaming says, so little Eggster. Hello. For Game Week 29, do I sell Watkins and Isak for Larsson and Haaland, or Palmer to Elanga and Watkins to Haaland? Okay, so you either sell Palmer to Elanga or Isak to Larsson. I prefer Palmer to Elanga, because I think Elanga is better than Strand Larsson, and I think Isak is better than Palmer to hold from 30 and beyond. So I would do the Palmer to Elanga route, I think. Also, make a guide for club. I'm actually going to do this. We've been speaking with the guys at club. I think I'm going to do a little tutorial on how to start, little tips and tricks. So yeah, I think that will be coming soon. Bro, Gakpo, Isak, Cunha. Got 1 transfer and 1.3 in the bank. Please help. Gakpo, Isak, Cunha. So Isak's fine to hold, I think. Gakpo and Cunha, you probably only need to sell one of them. I mean, in that situation, I think I would probably do Cunha to Wood and stick Gakpo on the bench, because he might get minutes. If you want to sell both of them, I'd want Haaland is the issue in that idea. If you want to sell both and you can't get to Haaland, I think I'd be looking at like Beto / Wissa and Wood, basically. But I think Chris Wood is still worth bringing in. The only thing with Chris Wood is you're gaining nothing with Chris Wood. You have to remember that. So if you're bringing Chris Wood in the hope that you'll get lots from him, even if he scores 15 goals, you're going to gain like a couple of points overall, because everyone owns Chris Wood now. Chris Wood was already at about 75-80% EO. Now Cunha suspended and Mateta's injured. So everyone that doesn't own Wood is now going to probably go and buy Wood. So yeah, if you're chasing rank, or you just want to really shoot up the ranks, or like hunt down a mini league leader, then Chris Wood's probably not the one. Shaunak says, hey Ross, any necessary changes needed in the team for 28, or should I roll? Don't want to play my free hit in 29, 2 free transfers. Okay. Henderson, Munoz, Trent, Mikalenko, Mo Palmer, Kluivert, and Burmo, Ollie, Wissa, Pedro, with a bench of Kirkes, Gabriel, Ahmad. So in terms of issues or players blanking, Henderson, because you've got no backup goalkeeper. Munoz, Trent, Mo, Watkins, Ahmad. That right? So you've got 6 players blanking. No, I don't think there's anything you need to do this week. I do think you're either going to have to take a hit or fill 10, though. I don't think, looking at your team there, Shaunak, that you can get 11 out without a hit. It might be that you decide just not to make a goalkeeper transfer and just have 10 men without a goalkeeper, and then you could remove something like Ahmad and Watkins for, I don't know, Chris Wood and Semenyo or something like that in the midfield, and then I think that would get you to 10. So yeah, you're in a fine position. I don't think you need to make a move this week, and then next week we can deal with your team then. Nice team, though, this week. I like the Henderson and Munoz double up. That feels very nice. Jay Saunders says, good morning. No, you didn't. He said, got morning Wood problems. I feel you. Happens to the best of us. Bench Wood, Bowen, or Semenyo? Chris Wood, probably. I hate benching Chris Wood. Probably Chris Wood. Bowen against Newcastle on the Monday night. That feels like a good fixture for him, especially the injuries that they've got. Semenyo against the Spurs team that played on Thursday. It's got to be Chris Wood, I think. I don't love that, though, but I would go Chris Wood. Hey, Ross, thoughts on Salah triple captain today? I just don't think his minutes are secure enough. I think he'll get over 75 minutes, but would you be surprised if they were winning 3-0, Salah already had a goal, which is great, you get a return, and then he comes off in like the 65th, 70th minute? Remember that a lot of Salah's goals and assists come from like the 85th minute onwards. You do really want him on the pitch for the full 90, so that would be my only slight concern, I think, there. So I probably wouldn't triple captain is basically my conclusion. Lewis says, 1 free transfer, Cunha to Wissa this week. Okay, I like that. Next week I can do Trent/Rodgers out for Guardiola and Gibbs White -4, or roll this week and get Haaland, 8 Neri Alanga for Trent, Palmer, Cunha next week, -4, but only 10 players. Oh, there's a lot to digest there. Okay, so firstly, I really actually do like the Trent, Rodgers to Guardiola, Gibbs White, and also getting Wissa in. That probably does feel overall pretty strong. But I love the Elanga punt. I think Haaland's a really good option for 29 and 30. And I think Aitner, I would probably go for the latter. I'd go for the latter. But only if you really believe that Haaland's the best captain for 29 and maybe Game Week 30. Like, if you're not that keen on captaining him in 29 and 30, then he's a waste of money, I think, at that price. I think I'll probably captain him instead of Salah in Game Week 30. Because he's got Leicester at home. Salah's got Everton at home. That feels pretty good to me. Thank you for the super chat as always, Lewis. I appreciate it. Shivraj says, Gordon, Cunha, Hall, Isak. 1 free transfer. Is the wild card worth it? No, not really. I would wonder, is the free hit worth it? Having Gordon and Isak that you can then carry through. But I guess Cunha and Hall. I'd need to see the rest of your team, but that doesn't justify a wildcard in and of itself, no. I think when you're getting towards should you wildcard rather than just getting through it with a hit, I think if you need to take more than a -12 to fix your team for 29, then you get into wildcard territory. I would almost rather a -8 or -12 now to save the wildcard, because I think the wildcard's going to be so much more useful around 31. That's my opinion on it, though. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because that's my plan. JWL says, what's your thoughts on taking hits for players who blank Game Week 29 to increase the value of the free hit 29 and the quality of the team you have after? I get what you're saying. So you said, I have Munoz, Trent, Salah, Isak blanking, as well as Cunha suspended and Dango minutes risk, so planning to free hit. That's fair enough. My counterpoint to that is that when you get back from your free hit, Cunha is still suspended and Dango is still a minutes risk. So you're not really solving your problems, you're just delaying them. In terms of is it worth taking hits for players who blank in 29, no. I wouldn't take hits, but bringing in someone like an Eze if you're free hitting 29 feels fine. I kind of get the point you're making, but I feel like it's a little bit forced. And I also do want to remind you that a free hit solves your team for 29, but you come back with, again, Cunha still suspended and Dango still being a bit of an issue. So what you're telling me is you basically got Munoz, Trent, Salah, Isak blanking, which is exactly the players that I've got blanking. And I'm not considering the free hit. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Hi, Raptor. Need your advice again. Thank you as always for the super chat, Trina. Very generous as always. Got Henderson, Kirkez, Gabriel, Munoz, Isak Wood, Palmer Dango, Mo and Burmo Wanyeri starting Okay, my bench is Pickford, Robinson, Cunha, and Hall. Okay, so you got Cunha and Hall to deal with. I've seen some lucky people that have no Hall, no Cunha, no Mateta, no Gordon. I mean, I've only got one of them, but to have none of them, sorry, FPL Harry. Oh, sorry, I had a little bit of a cough there. It just to sum up the luck of some people, doesn't it? You can tell him I said that as well. Anyway, back to your question. Maybe I'll swap Cunha to Wissa or Hall to Gvardiol. So my issue with, as with everyone, of doing something like Cunha to Wissa is that if you want Haaland, then you're having to then sell someone like an Isak to go and get Haaland. Whereas alternatively, if you delay the forward transfer, you could do something like Cunha to Haaland and Palmer down. So I think I prefer the Hall to Gvardiol transfer, personally. And also, you might end up wanting to carry Cunha through if he doesn't get a longer suspension, whereas Hall's out for the season. So I just think Hall to Gvardiol makes a little bit more sense in your situation. Hopefully that makes sense. It's not luck when we've been struggling without them. This is the flip side. It made me laugh because, like, yes, it's lucky to not have them. I can't remember who said this, but if you've not had Mateta and you've not had Cunha, you've also been missing out on a lot of points. So yeah, I guess we've been lucky to get the points recently, but now we've been unlucky to get the injuries. Jeremy says, "Morning Raptor." Good morning, Jeremy. Deciding between two moves: Cunha to Wissa, Marmoush, Evanilson. Which one? Or Dango to Kluivert? Convinced Dango doesn't start. Yeah, Dango doesn't start at all. I'm also convinced. Cunha to Wissa, Marmoush, Evanilson. I still think Wissa for me. But listen, if you're going all in on the Dango doesn't start, maybe Evanilson. I really do think Evanilson might end up being the one. We might be like, yeah, of course, he's come back from injury, starting for Bournemouth. They've got great fixtures. I think I'd still go Wissa, though, if I was making the choice this week. Or do Dango to Kluivert. That also works absolutely fine. I just think with Dango, as I've said, if Evanilson gets re-injured or Kluivert or Semenyo got suspended or something random happened like that, all of a sudden Dango's fine, whereas Cunha is suspended. So I feel like in your situation, Jeremy, sort out the issue first. And whilst Dango is a bit of an issue, Cunha's obviously a much bigger one. Shazam with the big boy super chat says, "Roll in this week, so no questions. Just want to big up FPL therapy, your weekly streams and the round table. Always helpful and informative. Your hard work and hours you put in is much appreciated, mate." What a bloody legend. I love you, mate. Thank you very much. And I appreciate all the support. And it was nice to speak to you in the round table, even though you couldn't speak. It was nice to still chat to you that way. So thank you very much. Thank you to all of the members, by the way. I appreciate your support. I know I've been very busy recently, but I do appreciate every single one of you. And thank you as always, Shazam. Isak, good now. No mention of the Nkunku punt. I'm thinking Kulusevski to Nkunku and Luka Dean to Gvardiol, wildcard 31. I love Chelsea assets like Nkunku and Neto in 28 and 30. They're fantastic. But in 29, they've got Arsenal away. And I just know I'll get to blank game week 29 and look at I've already got Enzo and Palmer. I'm just going to look at my team and go, ugh. Palmer and Enzo against Arsenal away. I don't want any play. Arsenal's so good defensively. So, yeah. I do think Nkunku and Neto are great options. The only other concern is apparently, and it might not pan out this way and they might be eased back in, but Madueke and Jackson were both penciled in for a return in game week 30. And if Jackson and Madueke are back, if even one of them starts, that probably means one of those players might drop out the 11. So there's just a little bit of concern with me around the Chelsea assets. I like the Gvardiol punt, though, obviously. That's probably the way that I'll go with my defence. Pete says, "Hey, up to 1.3k now. Fair play. Did Palmer captain last game week and had Glasner assistant manager? Thanks. Love that. Who do you think scores higher this week between Mikalenko versus Beto?" Well, I'd expect Beto to outscore Mikalenko. And then Semenyo/Foden/Gibbs-White versus Beto in game week 29. I'm wondering why I'm doing these comparisons, but I'm going to go with it. I would say out of those options, probably, arguably Beto again. Maybe Gibbs-White for the fixture. And Isak versus Salah in game week 30. In game week 30, I'd go Salah there. I'm wondering why I'm making these comparisons, though, Pete. This just feels like a fun prediction game. So I would say Beto this week. Arguably Beto in 29, but maybe Gibbs-White, and then probably Salah in 30. Hopefully that helps. JPM, Jean-Philippe, to Beto, then 2 free transfers for game week 29, or roll and have 3. Well, assuming that you can play someone decent instead of Jean-Philippe, I would roll. But if you can't, if you're ending up having to play like a really rubbish defender instead of John Philippe, then I would probably go for Beto this week. Like for me, I can just about get away with benching him. So I feel like the extra information and waiting a week is probably worth it. Good morning, Ross. Good morning. Good to see you, Aaron. Is it possible for Liverpool to win the league? I don't think so, no. I think they'll probably lose. Are you saying, is it possible for them to win the league this week? No. I think the earliest they could... Liverpool fans, you'll know this. When's the earliest Liverpool can mathematically win the league? Is it like 33, 32? Like if Arsenal lose all of their games and Liverpool win? That would be 8, 7, 21... I think it's about 32, 33. But I think they'll wrap up the league about a game at 34 would be my prediction around then, maybe 35. But I mean, with Arsenal's fixtures coming up, they've got like Chelsea, United, Fulham. They're not like banker games. I think around 31, 32. Okay. If Liverpool win the next 7, they will win. Yeah, and that's assuming though that Arsenal win their next few as well. Even Ilson is so bad. Had him mid-season and constantly blanked. Great fixtures, terrible seasonal form. Don't believe the hype. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, no. Players go through little streaks. I don't think it's a seasonal streak. I just think he went through a little spell where he wasn't putting the ball in the back of the net. But so did Chris Wood. I will remind you. I'll point to it, actually, because I was like, finally. Because I'd been saying Chris Wood all season had been getting a little bit lucky. There was this little run of games here. It was like this little run here. He got the 8 and the 9. But other than that, this massive period here where he was just blanking, and he had some okay fixtures in there. And I remember I was like, there you go, Chris Wood's reverting back to what we would expect from him. Like, everyone goes through little spells where they, again, don't put the ball in the back of the net. Pravdeep says, hi, Ross, my team is... Okay, I won't read it out, but I'm processing it. Any changes? Okay, good defence, no issues there. Midfield, extremely solid. Front line of Wissa, Isaac Wood. Bench cover with Castagna, Mikalenko. Mate, that's an incredible team. Yeah, no changes. Absolutely no changes. I also think you look semi-well set up, actually, for Game Week 29 as well, don't you? Yeah, you've got Munoz, Salah, Isaac. You've maybe got like 4 players blank. It's a really nice team, mate. Yeah, no changes, and you should be in a good position for 29. KG says, any planned transfers, Ross? Not at the moment. If I am to make a transfer, it would be Dango to Semenyo or Cliver, I'd imagine. It would just be fixing the mistake, which is a sad mistake that I made, but it is what it is. We all make mistakes throughout the season. Should I triple captain Salah this week? If not, when will be a good time to do it? I wouldn't. I would go for Isak in 32 or Haaland in 36. Isak in 32 has United and Crystal Palace at home. At the moment, in Game Week 36, Haaland only has Southampton, but there is a chance if City reach the final and Villa reach the final. So if it's a final of City and Villa in the FA Cup, which is quite likely based on the current draw, then I think there could be a double Game Week 36 for Haaland of Southampton and Bournemouth. So I think you probably play it in 32, but if you want to play another chip that week, you maybe keep it for 36. And listen, if by 36 there is no double, you can still triple captain Haaland against Southampton, right? So that's the way I would go. I could go Cunha to Nketiah and Dango to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai won't start and Nketiah is a one-week punt. I don't normally say this, but I hate that set of transfers. I don't think Szoboszlai starts, and like I say, Nketiah by Game Week 30, Mateta's expected to be back by Game Week 30. Mohammed says, take a hit to swap Hall for Munoz. I would still have 3 defenders for Game Week 29. As long as you've still got 11 players... I don't think I'd take a hit. I'm going to say no. Unless you don't have another defender this week. If it was for free, I'd understand it, but I don't think I'd take a hit. Because listen, Munoz probably doesn't get double digits. Like, he's got that in his locker, but you can't expect that from him. He's probably getting you maybe a clean sheet or maybe an attacking return. Probably not both. Like, the percentage chance of getting a clean sheet and an attacking return for a defender is always extremely low. So let's say Munoz gets 6 points or 8 points and you've taken a hit. You're probably not gaining much and then he blanks. So I probably wouldn't take a hit for Munoz, no. I hope I'm wrong and I hope he smashes it, but I just don't see that being worth it. Connor says, hi Ross, Raya or Pickford and Garnacho or Dango? Oh, Garnacho and Dango are both as unlikely as each other to start. I mean, Garnacho should be starting for us. So it's Arsenal, isn't it? I mean, Garnacho or Dango is like, pick whoever you want. They're probably both getting 1 point. I would probably go for Garnacho because I think it's very unlikely that Dango starts, whereas Garnacho could get the nod in this game. I would hope that we start Garnacho, but I just don't know. Raya or Pickford is a little bit easier. I'd go Raya. Man United really are. No, not if you're going Garnacho. Yes, do you know what? I would go Pickford and Garnacho or Raya and Dango. I'd put all of your eggs in one basket. So maybe Pickford and Garnacho would be the pairing. Pete says, I want Haaland in Game Week 29 and Game Week 30, and I need to sell either Isak or Salah in 29. That's why I was asking. Thanks as always for your help. You're awesome. Okay, I understand. I would much rather sell Isak than Salah. I understand the questioning now, yeah. Would I, though? Oh, you'd want Isak back, wouldn't you? I still think I'd rather keep Salah. Like, Isak's brilliant, but Salah is just monstrous, isn't he? Dave says, 1 free transfer, 0.8 in the bank. Would you just roll for Game Week 29? Allison, Trent, 8 Nuri, Cole, Salah, Palmer, and Burmo, Semenyo, Isak, Wissa, bench of Fabianski, Mikalenko, Davis, Cunha. So for 29, you've got Allison issue. You've got a Trent issue. Salah, Isak, Cunha. 5. And you're going to have 2 free transfers, bench 3. Yeah, so you'll be fine. Yeah, that seems really nice for this week. Like double Liverpool defence against Southampton, great. Colwell against Leicester's a nice pick. Midfield looks solid. Yeah, you definitely don't need a transfer this week, Dave. And you should still be just about... I've got Rodgers as my 5th mid. Okay, so you're probably going to have to take a -5. Just in your follow-up message. A -4 in Game Week 29 feels fine. Or just fill 10 players. But yeah, I think you're okay. No need to make a transfer this week. Lewis says, hi, Ross. Hello, Lewis. Here's my 11. Verbruggenhausen, Trent, Gabriel, Cliver, Dango, Salah, Palmer, Watkins, Wissa, Isak. Bench of Elanga, Vestergaard, Taylor. Have 2 free transfers, but want Munoz, but should I just roll? Yeah, I think you just suck it up. Because listen, House and Trent, Gabriel is a fine back 3. So I don't think you need Munoz this week. The only thing I would say is I would start Elanga ahead of Dango. I think the chances of Dango starting are quite low, and I think Elanga could cause Man City problems. So I would probably start... I'd probably start Elanga ahead of Dango, which feels crazy, but... Thomas says, good morning, Ross. Finished 115th in the world last year. Wow. I feel like everything is going against me. Subbed Cunha in last week. Would you do Cunha to Wissa? Listen, we all have those seasons. And I don't mean the season as in 115th in the world. I mean the season that you feel like you're having now. Cunha to Wissa feels fine, yeah. I mean, again, I think anyone that does something like Cunha to Wissa this week, it might block you from going to Haaland next week. So you need to assess what your route to Haaland might be and how much you want him for 29. But in isolation, Cunha to Wissa is a good transfer. I think Brentford could do okay against Villa. I mean, I've got it predicted as a 1-1, but they're at home. Villa haven't been great defensively recently. Wouldn't be surprised if Brentford score a couple more goals than that. Bass says, hi, legend. Hello, Bass. Thank you for the super chat. Currently, Henderson, Gabriel, Munoz, Robinson, Mbermo, Palmer, Salah, Rodgers, Cliver, Isak. Perfect. I'm missing 1 because I had Cunha and Mateta. Should I go for Wood, Marmoush, or Wissa? Thanks as always. Thank you as well. I would go for Chris Wood unless you are really chasing or you just want to differentiate. And I think that's an absolutely fine reason to not go for him. But yeah, I would go for Chris Wood in isolation. Outside of that, if you want to really go super cheeky, it's Marmoush, but Wissa's a very steady option. I would probably order it Wood, Wissa, Marmoush if I'm not thinking about ownership. By the way, can I please ask if you're enjoying the stream? Over 2,000 people here, so thank you for being here. Could you please make sure to drop a like? We've only got 170 likes, which means that basically everyone that's currently watching hasn't liked the stream. I'm going to take a sip of water, and whilst I do that, if you could please like the stream, thank you. I'm back. By the way, FPL Pickle is here. Say hello, Pickle.
Hi.
That's pretty quiet. A bit louder.
Hi.
There we go. People have been asking where FPL Pickle has been every stream.
I said morning.
Yeah, but they just probably think you're in the chat. I'm saying you're here. Sorry, where was I? Jason. Hello, Jason. Thank you for the very generous super chat. It says, hi, Ross. Thanks for the great content as always. And thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Would you do Rodgers to Sarr and then start Sarr over Wood this week? We'll just bench Sarr next week. I think that's slightly unnecessary unless your team is like banging for game week 29. Like you've just got your team so well set up, you don't need any transfers. Then you might be in a position to make a luxury transfer. But all I would say is from game week 30 and beyond, I think Rodgers is fine. And I also think that both Rodgers and Wood are good this week as well. I have no issue starting either of them. So it feels a little unnecessary, but I'm not going to put you off of it massively. If you've got a really good gut feeling about Ismail Assar, and obviously in game week 30 he's got Southampton, maybe. Aaron says, started playing club on Thursday, loving it so far. I love seeing people playing it, man. It's so cool. Like I say, I'm a shareholder and investor. So it's not just your classic, like, here's a product that I've been paid to mention. It's like I actually, like, Club's a legit mobile game. Yeah, I was testing it for like 7 months before they even reached out to me to partner with me for FPL therapy. So I was just playing it for the fun of playing it. Bench any of Strand Larson, João Pedro, Semenyo for Gakpo upside. I just can't see Gakpo starting, so I don't think there is any upside. I suppose the upside is if he starts. Maybe João Pedro. I think I'd start Strand Larson and Semenyo. Maybe I'd start Gakpo instead of João Pedro Jordan, but I don't think I would. Cruzy says start Wood or João Pedro. Wood. Bench one of Cliver, Sarr, Wood, Bowen. Or definitely not Cliver or Sarr. And I'd probably bench Chris Wood in that position. That's tough though, actually. Hi, mate. Bench Enzo or Wood? Worried about Wood's EO. If you're worried about Wood's EO, then bench Enzo. Because Enzo's not going to damage. He's like 0.1% owned. But I would start... If you told me I had to bench one of Enzo or Wood, I would definitely bench Chris Wood. Absolutely. But I'm a bit of an Enzo fanboy. What's your chip strategy? When are you free hitting a wildcard bench boost? So I am on wildcard 31. And then I will free hit in either 33 or 34. And as a result, I will bench boost in 32 or 33. So wildcard 31, free hit in 33 or 34, and then bench boost in whatever week I don't free hit, essentially. Do you think that's a good strategy based on what you know of my chip strategy video? FPL Pickle told me that she'd watch my chip strategy video. Have you watched it? What I would like you to tell the people is why double game week 33 might happen. Silence. You were mute for the whole thing, but that was actually correct. Sorry, so hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, wildcard 31 and then free hit in 33 or 34 and then bench boost around that. Shazam with the super chat just says, good morning, Pickle. Hope you are well. Good to have you back on the stream.
Oh, thank you.
What a legend.
Nice to hear from you.
We love you. We love you, Shazam. Yeah, it's nice to have her back, actually. Saturday morning streams are the best. Do you like Salah triple captain? If not, when? We've already answered this one, but I will answer it again because obviously you sent the super chat in. So I think Isak in 32 or Haaland in 36. But really, Isak 32 is the one. Both home games against United and Crystal Palace. Like, Crystal Palace aren't bad defensively. United are. But just I like that they're both at home. Assuming that he starts both, of course. Legend. Cliver versus Alanga in isolation. I won't be free hit 29. Need one this week, but maybe have both come 29 anyway. Any preference for 28? Big love. In 28, I've got to say Cliver. Like, Spurs have just played on Thursday. They lost 1-0. They're struggling. They are getting some players back, but being on penalties is a massive win for Cliver. I think in isolation, Cliver would be my priority and then Alanga. Yeah, just about. Because in 29, I probably do prefer Alanga to Cliver, just about. But this week it's Cliver. So yeah, I'll probably go Cliver, then Alanga. Big love to you as well. Hi, Sergio. Pedro to Beto, not convinced by his mins. Would I do that? It feels like an upgrade. I prefer Beto to João Pedro, but surely there are other things in your team you need to be doing. If your team's already really well set up for 29, then go for it. Otherwise, I would rather roll or take out a player that doesn't have a fixture. Like, you've got to really prioritise your transfers at this point in the season. Discover with Sims says 80 points of hits. What do you think? You've taken 80 points of hits this season. That's insane. Oh. Did you hear that?
Have you taken a hit?
No, I've not taken a hit this season. Let us know, chat, how many hits have you taken this season? I'll show you how to do that in a second. Wood in and bench Wisser, Clivert, Bowen, or Wood in game week 29. No, I would just start Wisser, Clivert, Bowen, and then do Wood in 29. I do think Wood could do okay this week, but I don't think he's a priority transfer in this week. Right. I'm going to show you how to do it. So if you go onto your, you can do this on the app as well. But if you go onto the site and then do Game Week history, you see where it says TC. That's transfers cost. So if it says a 4 or an 8, that means you've taken a 4-point hit or an 8-point hit. So just scroll down there and then just count. Obviously, mine just says 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Someone asked for my ranks in recent seasons the other day. There they are as well. Oh, there they are. No top 10Ks, sadly, which is nice. Can't all be like FPL Pickle. But 35. So my first season on YouTube was this one. So this was my first season. Was it? Or was this one? No, this was my first season on YouTube. Was it? When did I start? Yeah. This is my first season on YouTube, 35K, then 10.1K, then 29K, and we are now. I'm just a steady manager. You know, top 35K is my jam. Well, I'm currently 36K, so, but you know, you get it. Anyway, yeah, let me know how many hits you've taken this season. Right, let me get that back there. There we go. I've taken 12 hits. What, 12 points in hits or 12 hits? 16 points on hits. 44 points in hits, says Charlie. Jesus. There's no right way to play, by the way. I've seen some people that be like top 1K and they're taking like 20 hits. Like you can play both ways. I'm not really. I tell you what, actually, as a content creator, I'm actually quite pro hits in comparison to some, but I've just not really felt the need to this season, you know? Probably should have taken a hit early doors to buy a Haaland, but there we are. 0 hits and my rank is still shocking, says Thomas. That's pretty funny. Yeah, see, I don't think... There probably is a slight... Do you know what? I think there probably is a slight correlation. If we're going to run a statistical analysis on this, I reckon we would have a marginally significant correlation between... It would be... I was thinking that, but it wouldn't actually, would it? Because the rank's getting lower as the hits get lower. So I think it'd be a positive correlation.
Oh, yeah,
Technically, yeah. Anyway, we're getting nerdy here. Yeah. There is a negative. There's an inverse relationship. Can we stop nerding it out, please? I'm streaming. We do love statistics here. Yeah, lots of people taking 92, says Ted. 92 points in hits. 88 from spacing. Wow, there are some big boy hits flying around this season. Bloody hell. I love to see it, though. Have fun with it, you know? Captain Haaland. Not this week, I don't think. Do that in 29 and 30. How do you check on the app? I'll show you. So if you bring up your app, right, this is the way the app looks. Yeah? At the top where it says your name, expected goals, like mine's there. If you click on your name, then it goes on to Game Week history. Then you can see where it says TC. Oh, sorry, the camera's there, isn't it? Then it says TC up there as well. So TC in that final column there, and then you can scroll and do that. So you can do it on the app as well. It's confusing, though, because on the app it goes Game Week 1 to... I keep moving away from the other. It says Game Week 1 to Game Week 27 that way, but on the website it's the other way around, so it gets a bit confusing. Anyway. Is Ross rolling this week? I am very likely to be rolling this week, yeah. Not 100%, but very likely. It's more complicated than that, though. How many hits work out per hits that flop? So from my experience, more hits flop than work out. But when the hits work out, they can work out. You know what I mean? They can go massive. The green screen made it look like you had no green arrows. That's what it felt like, to be honest. I don't know how I'm where I am. When I look at my season, I'm like, I've had a stinking season. I look at my rank and I'm like, actually, this is one of my better seasons so far, which is crazy. But yeah, there have been more red arrows than green arrows. I've had like 3 or 4 big green arrows, like really good weeks that have shot me up. Josh says, I'm just looking for my mate Greg. Greg, are you here? Where's Greg? I meet people in real life and they're like, I can tell my mini league leader's been copying you. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. If they copied me at the start of the season, that would have been horror. Absolute horror. Aaron says, my team this week is Hendo, Munoz, Mikalenko, Trent Salah, Sarr, Bowen, Cliver, and Burmo. What a lovely midfield. by the way. Sarr and Bowen's great in there. Isak and Haaland. Bench of Sells, Beto. You know your team's good when you're benching Beto. Livramento and House, and we'll be free hitting Game Week 29. What are your thoughts? My thoughts? I mean, my early thoughts looking at that is you don't need a free hit. So you've got Munoz blanking, you've got Sells, so Henderson doesn't matter. Trent, Salah, Sarr, Isak, Livramento. Yeah, a free hit's not bad, Aaron. I also think you don't need a free hit looking at a team, but I love the team for this week. So nice. Henderson and Munoz and Sarr, triple Palace. I'd want Beto in the team. I wonder if Beto ahead of Bowen or Clivert. Maybe not. It's a really nice team, though. Do you still have a girlfriend? I hope so. She sat there.
Yes, he does.
Yes. Woo. Thank God for that.
I was tempted to not speak.
I was going to say, I thought you weren't going to confirm it, and that would have been really awkward. If I bring in Wissa, should I bench Wanyeri or Rodgers? I'd probably start Rodgers. Reckon Bowen is a good pick for the next 3 weeks. Yeah, I don't mind Jared Bowen still. I mean, you've missed the best fixture, which puts me off slightly. It's like, in terms of entry points, you've missed the entry point, but I still feel like the next 3 are possibly good for him, especially Newcastle with all of the injuries they've got. Discover with Sim said, calculations were wrong. I've actually taken 104. That is mental. I love it, though. What's your rank? 104 points just down in hits. But again, it's as... I can't remember who said it now, but it's not as simple as just saying you've lost points because you might have gained from it. Actimel gang. Big up the Actimel gang. I've not had Actimels in a while. 1.8 million. That could be worse. Is Bruno Fernandes a good option next week? No. Actually, that's a lie. Yes, but not for the price. And also, like, you then just don't want him moving forward. He's good for 1 week. If I was on a free hit, I would absolutely have Bruno Fernandes on a free hit. 100%. But I'm not on a free hit, and most people aren't either, so... Is it a risk to captain Salah this week? Slot will rotate. Yeah, he did hint a little bit here. I still think he's fine. I think he'll start. Will he get 90? No, not in a million years is Salah getting 90 against Southampton before that PSG second leg. But he doesn't need 90. He's an absolute monster. General thoughts on doing Salah to Haaland in 29? General thoughts is I don't like it, particularly. But if you are captaining Haaland in 29 and 30, then it's worth doing. If you think you're getting the best captaincy option in 2 consecutive weeks, then do it. I couldn't sell Salah, though. I was terrified not captaining him, let alone not owning him. Jace says, bench one of Colwell, Canate, Gabriel. Probably Canate. Just because I think there is a very small chance that Quansah starts this game. So I would go Canate. But obviously, if he does start, which is probably likely, that feels a bit rubbish. Bench one of Pedro, Isak, Beto. I think I'd bench Pedro and Canate. Hopefully that helped, my friend. And thank you for being a member for 35 months. Who's your favourite FPL player apart from your girlfriend? What's someone that plays FPL? My nan. She's a legend. Nana Raptor. In terms of what... If you meant like actual player, Jean-Philippe Mateta. We love Jean-Philippe here on this channel.
That's absolutely not what they meant.
What didn't they mean?
Well, maybe they did mean that. I thought they meant, yeah. I don't know.
Well, I gave them both. You know?
Yeah, I thought you were going to give another one.
Chat, let me know. We've got over an hour till the deadline. I'm still going to carry on answering your questions, but let me know, who is your favourite FPL player of all time? Across any season. For those of you that have been playing for like 15 years, who's maybe even longer? How long's it been going? Like 22 years? Who is your favourite FPL player of all time? While I take a sip of water. Right, let's read out some of your shouts. Aguero, Henri, yeah. Routledge, that's a throwback. Is that Swansea? Is that who you played for? John Lundstrom, yeah, fair play. Eze because of last season. Yep, I brought in Eze for his 18-pointer in Game Week 38. That was stunning. That was what got me top 50k. In fact, it got me much better than top 50k, but that's the reason I snuck into the top 50k. Reece James, fair play. Suarez, I love Suarez. Yeah, for that season where he was approaching 300 points without pens. Rafinha, Dallas, Kane's son. That was a banging season when Leeds were in the Prem and they had their options. Alexis Sanchez, fair play. I think my favourite... Who's my favourite? I'll tell you what. John Philippe is putting up a battle, but that's probably recency bias. Grealish at Villa was my guy. Like I captained him in like 3 weeks when Salah was really highly owned and he did really well for me. Isak last season did so well for us as well. I don't know. Foden 2 seasons ago. Decent. Right. I think... Right, that's where I was. Cool. Yeah, some good shouts in there. Michu's a throwback as well. Yeah, Michu's not a bad shout, actually. Yeah, not a bad shout at all. Trying to think, there's probably someone that I've forgotten about. I'll have a think. Have Watkins, Mateta, Gakpo. Gakpo out 4. Again, Chris Wood, if you're not chasing and you are just happy with where you are, because he's brilliant. If not Chris Wood, I think it's Wissa, Marmoush, or Beto. Or even Ilson. I'll still chuck even Ilson into that debate as well. Only have my bench boost and free hit left. What should I do in Game Week 29? Get through it with free transfers. I think if you've only got free hit and bench boost, you probably bench boost 33, free hit 34. You probably play those 2 chips in 33 and 34. Or if 34 ends up looking a bit easy to deal with, then you probably free hit 33, bench boost 32. But basically, I wouldn't use a chip in 29. You just get through it with free transfers. Julian says, I have Palmer, Enzo, Clivert, Salah, Dango, have Wood, Isak, and transferred in Wissa. Who would you play? Would you transfer / hit for Mbermo? No, I don't think Mbermo is a must-have. I'd probably, if you're going to bench one, it's got to be Dango Ouattara, because I don't think Dango starts. I think Dango will be on the bench. So, yeah, that one feels relatively easy. Emmanuel Dennis. Yeah, no, said no one ever. Said no one ever. You talking to yourself? You sounded like you're doing like Slytherin. Like you were talking parcel tongue to a snake. I just heard in the background. Isn't that a sign of insanity, talking to yourself?
I talk to myself a lot.
Yeah, I know you do.
Probably is.
João Cancelo, not a bad shout. Who to put in instead of Gordon? There's no one that I love for this week and I also love for 29. Like, you could be aggressive and going Kunku or Neto, but then they're not great for 29. It's probably the Bournemouth mids your best shout. Are you planning to make any transfers today? Not at the moment, but there's a chance. I'll tell you who, Anthony Martial, when Man United were actually good for like 3 minutes. I liked owning Anthony Martial for that period. This guy doesn't read comments. Sucks to be you, because that was the comment that you just got read out. Shows that I do, though, eh? Shows that I do. I think people think because I just haven't read their comment, I'm not reading comments by him. What about Marcus Alonso? Yeah, shout. Very good shout. Bruno in 2021, also a very good shout. Yeah, when he got like 55 penalties a game. N. Shep says, my team this week is Flecken, Trent, Munoz, Aitnuri, Nkunku, Parmasala, Semenyo, Bowen, Isak Wood. Great. Bench is Pickford, Strand Larson, Timber, Lewis. Is that decent? Oh, it's more than decent, mate. When you've got a bench like that, you know you've got a good team. Yeah, brilliant team. Love the Nkunku pick. I think Semenyo is going to do really well this week for some reason. Just got a bit of a gut feeling about Semenyo. But yeah, really nice team. No need to make any transfers at all. Sean says, personal unforgettable FPL haul for me. Kane, Son, Hall in the same game versus West Brom, I think. I think I remember that. I tripled Son that week. Don't remember the season. What's yours? What season was that? I think I remember the game. Yeah, they scored like 5 or 6, didn't they, in that game? Yeah, I think I remember the game you're on about. What's my favourite FPL memory of all time? I always say the same one, but I can't remember the game or the season. But I remember there was a time, we talked about Jack Grealish, that I captained Jack Grealish for Aston Villa, and it was a week where everyone else captained Mohamed Salah. It might have been Salah's first season at Liverpool, maybe another season. But anyway, I captained Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish was blanking until like the last moments of the game, and he ended up getting like 2 goals and an assist in the final like 10, 15 mins. He like hauled right at the end. And he got me like 30 points as captain. And Salah, I think, got like an assist or blanked. And it was my first. No, it wasn't the Villa Liverpool game. I remember that one. I can't remember what it was. It was earlier than that. Much. It was like maybe 2 seasons earlier than that. But yeah, that was a really good one. Other than that, arguably Eze in game week 38 last season, because it was huge for me. I was like 60k going into that game week, and Eze just single-handedly just threw me up the ranks because he was only like 5%. REZ, Henderson sells, Trent. Okay, I'm not going to read it out because it gets a bit boring here in my voice. I've got 2.6 million in the bank and 4 free transfers. Which 4 to bench and which transfer to make? Okay, in terms of bench, definitely sells. In the defense, I think you bench Howson and Mikalenko. And then in the attack, you bench Dango. And I don't think you make a transfer. I think you roll. Because you've got a great team. I know you've got Cunha, but you can get away with benching Cunha this week. Oh, no, because you've got Dango. You can't bench Dango. Actually, I would make a transfer then. I would sell Dango to Semenyo and then bench Cunha. Howson, Mikalenko, and sells. Hopefully that helps. 4 free transfers. I wish I had 4. I've got 3. Currently. Hello, mate. Would you start Gakpo or Rodgers? I'd start Rodgers because I don't think Gakpo starts himself, so I don't think I'd want to do that. 2013, 2014, Yaya Toure. That's a very good shout. Man possessed, wasn't he? I have 1 free transfer. Should I use it? It's so difficult without seeing your team or knowing your chip strategy. I would largely say if you've got 1 free, try and roll. I'd try and if you're whatever your situation, I would try and roll, but especially if you've only got 1 free, because it just opens up more options for next week, right? Bench 8 Nuri or Wan-Bissaka. I'd bench Wan-Bissaka and start 8 Nuri. Start Howson or Robinson. Oh, that's actually a really tough one. Really, really tough. I would probably start Robinson, but that's extremely close, that one. You don't seem keen on Dango. Why not move him out this week? I'm not keen on Dango, and I don't think he starts. But it's like, next week, if I use all 4 of my transfers on Mateta, Trent, and then getting Haaland by selling Palmer. Sorry, because I can sell Mateta within that, and then sell Van den Boom. Basically, if I use all 4 of my free transfers dealing with issues and getting Haaland, if I sell Dango this week, I'm guaranteeing myself a hit next week. And it might just be that Dango does start and I'm surprised and then I can keep him. If I had 4 free transfers this week, I would sell Dango this week. But I'm basically 1 transfer short on what I need to do with my team. Reece James and Ben Chilwell when they were on fire scoring for fun. Yeah, that was a good time. Especially Chile. I loved owning Chilwell. Bench one of Bowen, Wanyeri, Marmoush, or Watkins. Probably Wanyeri. Palmer triple captain for the vibes. It's definitely very vibey. I don't know that I could sit and watch another game with Palmer as my captain, let alone my triple captain. He's probably going to smash it this week now that we've moved back off him to Salah. What midfielder to buy for Ahmad? In terms of 29, I like Alanga or Gibbs White. But I think overall the Bournemouth mids are still the best to buy over the next 3 weeks. Rodgers or Kluivert? Kluivert. For the first time this season, I'm not sure what I will do with an hour left. Just kick back and relax. It's a nice position to be in. I know it's not as like exciting and exhilarating, but it's quite nice to just kick back, listen to the stream, and just know that you're in a good position. You don't need to do anything. Not every deadline needs to be stressful, eh? Dango back to midfield. Yeah, I mean, if he is going to start, it's going to be on the left wing, you'd imagine. But I think it will be instead Semenyo left wing, Tavernier right wing. I just think Tav is a better winger than Dango, sadly. And I think Tav will start ahead of Dango. Which is sad, but is what it is. It's a shame. When is the Game Week 29 deadline? Next Saturday. Saturday the 15th. It's my birthday soon, chat. 29th of March. 3 weeks today. I will be doing an FPL therapy episode on the 28th. With a certain someone that everyone's very excited to have on. I won't confirm that yet. But yeah, I won't be doing any stream on my birthday or anything, sadly. Because the deadline is not until the Tuesday for that week. Can you put up the bench ranking, please? Oh, what, you mean that graphic? I didn't actually create that graphic this week because not many people have benching headaches. Because most people have like Cunha Mateta or like a João Pedro or something where they're just happy to bench them. Lizzie says, it's my birthday today. Happy birthday, Lizzie.
Happy birthday.
My birthday is 16th of March. Big up the March birthdays. Big up the March birthdays. My birthday's 12th of March. Look at this. Off to watch Andy's stream because he isn't answering my question. Good luck getting your question answered in Andy's stream. He's got like 4 times the amount of people. But have fun, Bradley. 31st of March. Very nice. Mateta's on the pod. Huge. I'm Matt John Philippe. I just spend the whole time saying I love you, John Philippe. Hi, Ross. Any team leaks? No, not yet. Firstly, because we're over an hour away. But also, City have been a little bit tighter on their team leaks, haven't they? What do we think about my predictions, by the way, in the bottom left corner? Any of those that you think are massively off? I tried just going based on like vibes and gut feeling rather than looking at like bookies odds and stuff. So let me know if any of them look terrible to you. Who is the best Hall replacement? Gvardiol, 8 Nuri, or Milenkovic? Milenkovic, 8 Nuri, Gvardiol would be my top 3. City 4-2. Yeah, that was the most vibe one. I'll tell you why I said 4-2, right? City are attacking a lot better, and Forest defensive data has dropped off a cliff. If you look at their defensive data over the last 10, they're 14th in the Premier League, Forest. So Forest defensive data at the start of the season was astonishingly good. They've really dropped off recently. And I know they are better defensively at home, but I just wonder whether City will go after them. And I think if there's a couple of early goals, then it could be a bit of a goal fest. That's completely against the bookies' odds. Most have it at like City 1-0 or City 2-1, like quite a low-scoring game. United will scam a 1-0 win. United can't scam a 1-0 win against anything. Yeah, the reason I've got Liverpool 3, Southampton 0 is just I think Liverpool take their foot off the gas slightly if they go a couple goals up. I see an early kickoff Snorefest. Maybe. I'd ideally like Nottingham Forest to win 8-0. Yeah, you know what? Last time there was a Chris Wood early kickoff, they beat Brighton 7-0 and Chris Wood got a hat-trick. If we can get that again, I'm all aboard. Start Ola Aina or a Howsam? Howsam for me. Callum Allen says, hi, Raptor. My team is... Okay, I've got your team, Callum. 1 free transfer 1.7. No free hit 29. No idea what to do. So you've got Salah blanking, Isak blanking, Gakpo blanking, Mateta, Greaves, Hall. So you can bench 3 of them. So you're going to take a -4 hit, and I would probably be looking to sell Mateta, Hall, and... probably like Mateta, Hall, and Isak or Greaves. I think you're fine for this week, basically. There's no need to make a transfer this week. I know your bench is... I'll tell you what, actually. No, you probably do need to make a transfer this week, Callum. Because you've got Isak and Gakpo in your 11, plus Mateta, Greaves, Hall on the bench. I think you probably need to do something like Gakpo to Wood, or Mateta to Wood. Doesn't matter which one. I would sell one of Gakpo or Mateta, and then next week reassess what you want to do for Game Week 29. I think you do need to make a transfer, though, because you could be in a position where you can't field 11 players. But the team's not in an awful place, though. Andrew says, Brother, great work as always. Thank you very much. Have to sell 2 of these for Game Week 29 to have 11 players. Cunha, Sarr, Salah, Isak, Trent. Money tied up in all. Sell this week or next. I don't think you need to make a move this week unless you can't field 11. In terms of who would you sell out of those, Cunha would be the main one because he's not back until at least 31. But I think it could be worse than that because the FA have charged him. So Cunha's the main sell. And I think Trent because he's so expensive. So I would bench Sarr, Salah, Isak and sell Trent and Cunha. Andrew. I think that makes the most sense. Bench Enzo, Wood or Isak. I think it's Chris Wood there. Yeah, I agree that it's a good game for Enzo. Enzo should have really hauled last week. He really should have. And he scored off the bench in the Europa League as well. I think he's playing a little bit more advanced at the moment, and he just looks a little bit more hungry for goals. Hassan says, hi, Raptor, Mikalenkovic or... Mikalenkovic. Why do I keep doing that? Mikalenko or Kirkes? Oh, that's actually a tough one. Mikalenko or Kirkes? Oh, that's a really tough one. Probably Mikalenko. Without Cunha? Yeah, probably. And Semenyo or Wood when you have Clivert? I'd still start Semenyo, probably. I would probably start Mikalenko and Semenyo. Joseph Stack has been a member for 3 months. Thank you, Joseph. Are you planning to create a personal channel like Andy? Yeah, probably at some point. It won't be like Andy's, but it will be a personal channel. Yeah, for sure. I've got some good ideas in the works, but I need to finish my PhD first. I'm very, 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 very busy with my PhD at the moment. So it will be at least a year, maybe 18 months, maybe 2 years till I start that personal channel. So you'll have to just stick with the FPL content for now. Start 3 of Flecken, Pickford, Tarkovsky, Aitnuri, Larson. So out of Flecken and Pickford, I'd start Pickford personally. And then Tarkovsky, Aitnuri, Larson. I would bench. Maybe if you're starting Pickford, you bench Tarkovsky just to not go all in. Although if you're starting Larson, then you shouldn't start Pickford. I'm thinking about this. Maybe you bench Pickford and Tarkovsky. And maybe you start Fleck and Aitnuri and Strand Larson and just go all in on the fact that Everton concede. I don't hate that, putting all of your eggs in one basket. F1 season predictions. We'll do that post-deadline. I'm definitely up for doing that, though. But yeah, let's do it post-deadline. Because not everyone watches F1. To be fair, even the post-deadline people don't, but hey-ho. Joseph Stack says, sup Ross, hope you and Pickle are both good. We are doing well, thank you. On my way for a day out with the wife, so missing the deadline stream. I respect it, though. Much better to spend your day with your wife than with me. Bench 1 of Isak, João Pedro, Clivert, Matoma. Bench 1 of Isak, João Pedro, Clivert, Matoma. That's a tough one, actually. My initial thought was João Pedro, so I think I'll stick there. Just because I think he's the most likely to be benched of the 4, other than, of course, Isak being an injury doubt. But Isak's so good that if he does start, you want him. Wouldn't bench Clivert. Matoma's in a really nice run of form as well himself. I would probably bench João Pedro, just. Do you think Dango starts? No. I don't, sadly. I'd love him to, but I don't think he does. Isak says, hi Ross. Regarding next game week, I've got the exact funds to do Trent and Isak to Aitnuri and Haaland. That seems nice to me. Seems like Aitnuri is going up in price tonight. Should I move early? God, that's such a tough one, right? Because there's probably going to be no issue doing it, but I don't know that I would. Especially with just like other stuff going on, like the European second legs. I probably wouldn't, but it's going to mean you can't get Aitnuri. But you could go for Semedo. You could go for Nico Williams. You could go for Howson. You could go... There's enough other options outside of Aitnuri. If you are like so incredibly certain you want Aitnuri, then maybe do it. Maybe do it. But there is a big risk associated with that. Is Gakpo starting? I don't think so. If not, who to buy? I have to sell next week anyway. I think it's Wood... wait, have I still got this graphic? There you go. I'll let you pause and look at that. That's my list of forwards in order. I think any of the top 6 are great. I don't like Strand Larsen, João Pedro, Welbeck, and Nketiah, Delap, Jimenez, or Solanke. But any of the top 6, I think, makes a lot of sense. But that would be my ordering of them. Ben says, hi Ross, which trio do you prefer for Game Week 29? Okay, I promise this helps with my Game Week 28 striker predicament. Alanga, Wood, Haaland, -4. Savinho, Beto, Haaland, -4. Or Palmer, Wood, Marmoush, no hit. I prefer the combinations with Haaland and the hit. So I'm going to say I would pick one of the first two. So it's Alanga and Wood or Savinho and Beto. If you told me that Savinho definitely starts, maybe that one. But because I think there's more doubt in my mind, I'd probably say that the most solid of the 3 options there is Alanga, Wood, Haaland. But I've got a nice feeling about Savinho if he starts. But then you also need Savinho to start in 30, and do we know that? We don't. I'd probably say Alanga, Wood, and Haaland, just about. Henny says, Rodgers or Alanga. To start this week, Rodgers. If I was to own one right now, I'd have Alanga. Mikalenko and Pickford or Kirkers? Mikalenko and Pickford or Kirkers? A bit confused by that. Do you mean Mikalenko or Kirkers, but you have Pickford? If you want to diversify, go for Kirkers. Otherwise, I still think I would just marginally lean Mikalenko. Do you think Wolves will score, Claudette? I hope not. Could do with a clean sheet from Pickford. It's been a little while. Are you going to watch the Sideman match or Salah hauling later? Probably neither. Probably neither. I don't really care too much to watch either of those. Maybe I'll flick between the two. Probably just relax. Probably sleep. I do like to sleep during the 3 PMs. Might go to the gym as well, though. Ross, help me. I don't know whether to pick Henderson or Pickford. What, to start? Henderson. To buy? If you need a keeper in 29, Pickford. If you don't, then Henderson. Dango or Howsam? I'd still start Dango there because I think Spurs will score. So I think you'd back that hopefully Dango could do something off the bench. Best forward, not Harlem Marmoush. Have Wissa, don't like Wood. Beto. Or even Ilson. Beto or even Ilson in that situation. By the way, if you are enjoying the stream, can I please ask you, I've already asked you to like, so I won't ask you that again, but could you please subscribe? Really appreciate it. There's normally about... Oh, my computer just died. That's sad. Are we back? Hopefully it was a momentary drop. Yeah, please subscribe. I'll leave it there. My computer didn't like me asking that. It was like, no. Don't ask them to subscribe. Start Wanyeri or Wood? I'd probably just about go Chris Wood, but I think that's close. Start Robinson or Howson? Again, very close, but I would go Robinson. Oh, why computer? You were doing so well. Play 8 Nuri or Anderson. 8 Nuri. And Wood or Beto? Probably Beto. Have you finished Drive to Survive, Ross? No, we've watched 3 episodes?
Yeah.
We've watched 3 episodes. It's been okay. I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't blown away from the opening 3 episodes. I think they just had too much to cover, to be honest. It feels a little bit too... Yeah, like too... what's the word I'm looking for? Like too surface level. But I think there's just too much. But they've not really dived into a lot of the stuff going on behind the scenes yet. You know? Thoughts on Strand Larsen? I'm not a fan because his data's really bad, but the fixtures are so there to attack. Is it time to ditch Salah next week because he's not going to be a captain option? He's not a captaincy option, so usually I'd say, yeah, I don't mind it, but he's still going to absolutely batter in the points, isn't he? So I probably wouldn't sell Salah, no. Can I use my triple captain this week or wait? You could use it, absolutely. I don't hate it. I just think that I'd rather save it for a potentially better opportunity in the future. If I knew that Salah was playing 90, I'd be tempted. But I even think if Salah plays 90, Liverpool aren't going to be going for this game with everything they have. They're going to be holding a little bit off for that PSG second leg. What's your plan for Mateta? I'm going to sell Mateta in 29 for Haaland. And I'm going to do that by downgrading Palmer to Semenyo. And then obviously Trent to Guardiola, and then there'll be another transfer somewhere. Do you know what? I might take a hit. I might just try and build a better team for 29. I probably will take a -4 hit, I'd imagine. Maybe a -8. Who knows? Might just going to have fun with it, you know? Hey, Ross, don't you find the influx on Haaland or emphasis is overstated? Yeah, I mean, if anyone's saying that Haaland's a perfect player and that everyone should buy him, yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's overstated when Palmer's been rubbish, he's playing Arsenal away, and Haaland's got back-to-back home games, including a game against Leicester. And if you look at the captaincy options in 29, I was very, very tempted to not buy Haaland because I would captain Cunha. So that was an option for me, is don't go Haaland, captain Cunha. But now that Cunha's not an option, who do you captain? It's probably only Chris Wood, really, that I like as an option. And his ceiling isn't that high. So, I know he got a hat-trick, but like normally it's probably like 9 points. So I just think putting that all together, and lots of us have someone like a Cunha or Mateta to sell. So when you put all that together, Palmer's been disappointing. Back-to-back home games for Haaland. Most of us have a striker to sell anyway. It just all comes together to say that if you can go and get Haaland, probably just do it, you know? Captain Bruno. Yeah, I forgot Bruno even existed. But yeah, Bruno, captain's not awful. I will have a free hit draft next week, by the way, so make sure to subscribe for that. If you are on your free hit on 29, there will be a video out for the free hits. For the free hitters. Dilo Beatbox. Hello, my friend. Good morning. Great rank. Thank you very much. I'm a Liverpool fan. I think I need persuading for Mo's captaincy this weekend compared to a desperate Palmer. Thoughts? I tell you what, if you buy into narratives, we call this narrative bias in psychology, but if you are someone that just likes living life by narratives, Palmer, as you say, desperate to return. Salah, probably one eye on the Champions League game, already scored so many goals. Remember, Palmer put up that Instagram story saying, I will be back. Maybe. But if you want another narrative, Salah is about to destroy every record set in the Premier League. He wants to keep going for goals and assists. He is as desperate as Cole Palmer to get attacking returns. And Southampton are worse than Leicester. So you could then flip the narrative the other way. We call that the framing effect in psychology. I've just framed it in 2 different ways for you. But yeah, I think they're both good captaincy options. In reality, if we remove emotion from it, in terms of like FOMO and stuff like that, I think that they're quite close. In terms of like what would I expect from them? I would expect double digits from both of them. I would expect that both of them to get more than 2+ returns, but I think Salah's just a slightly better asset this week, even with the reduced minutes. Do you think Ramadan might affect Salah though?
We asked this every year. I always worry, but
Yeah, so his minutes do get reduced in Ramadan. I think last season in Ramadan, or the season before that, he didn't get 90 minutes once, but he wasn't getting really early subs. We're talking like marginally early, like 75 minutes rather than getting subbed in the 86th minute. So he's still getting starts, and he has returned. So there might be like a 5% drop off, but it's not enough to. It's not enough for me to incorporate into my thinking. If like every year at Ramadan he was like getting subbed off in the 60th minute, really struggling for returns, looked tired. I remember last season it was in the middle of Ramadan and he was just running like the full length of the pitch. And I'm like, Salah's a monster. He's in such good shape that despite fasting, I still think he's going to be able to put in a good performance. I think it will affect other players more so. But we even saw like Dembele during Ramadan. He was smashing it for PSG. Like he was running the full length of the pitch. Like these are Premier League or like elite level athletes. I don't know. I mean, I've obviously never experienced Ramadan, so I don't know what that feels like to be running on that fasted. But I just think Salah's that guy. Also, I suppose the time of day matters. Right? He's playing at 3 p.m. That's slightly better than if it was like a 5:30 kickoff. Right? That would be a little bit more rough because he'd have fasted for longer. I don't know. I think he'll be fine. Audio is breaking. Is it? Sorry if that is the case. Yeah, my computer's struggling a little bit more at the moment. It held up very well for the first hour 15. Will Ramadan affect Palmer? I don't think so. Not that I know of. Not that I know of. Palmer could do with anything he can to help him, though, bless him. I do feel a little bit sorry for him. He's got so much pressure on his shoulders right now after how he performed last season. Right, where was I? Start Wood or João Pedro? Oh, no, I was way back from there. Where was I? Here. Okay, Andy something. What would you prefer for Game Week 29? No Haaland, Gvardiol and Wood captain, or a -8 to get Haaland captain, cheap defender and cheap forward? When you put it like that, probably Gvardiol and Wood captain. Yeah, if you're like in a position where it's going to require a lot of work to get Haaland and a massive hit, probably just go without Haaland. Like he's not in a stage of his like form right now, of his season where he's getting huge returns. But that could come at some point. And when Haaland starts firing, like he's shown some signs recently where he's getting back on the score sheet, looks a little bit more confident. That's a scary place to be as a non-owner. Like I know that full well. Start Wood or João Pedro? Wood. Hope all is well, kind sir. Start Gakpo or Dango? I'd start Gakpo there because I think both are probably on the bench. But I think Gakpo's a better bench option. Triple captain Salah or Palmer or wait? I would wait. Trina says, Ross, help. Should I bring in Soboslai / Alanga / Semenyo / Kluivert for Wanyeri or Dango? Or Gvardiol, Williams, 8 Nuri for Hall? I don't think Soboslai will start, and I don't think Alanga's got the best fixture. So Semenyo or Kluivert in for Dango, I think feels nice. I'd rather sell Dango than Wanyeri, I think. But I think Gvardiol for Hall would probably be my favourite. Yeah, I'd probably say Gvardiol for Hall, Trina, if I had to choose one. But I do think you can get away with rolling if you can field an 11. You know? My team's not optimal this week, right? I've got Dango in my starting 11, but I just think I'd rather wait and get an extra week of info. It's a bit boring. This will be the final week where I'm like, just roll. Like 29 will be aggressive. 30, our teams look great. We're going to wildcard in 31, and then we're into double game week season. This is the last week of the season where it's going to be like really like, oh, just roll if you can. So don't worry. If you're a bit bored of the rolling, there shouldn't be much more of that coming up. Best Hall replacement. I have Trent, Timber, Robinson. Trent, Timber, Robinson. If you can get to Guardiola, great, but then you've got a very expensive defence, so probably not. I would say 8 Nuri still up there. I would still say Milenkovic is there as well. They're probably my main two. I'd probably say Milenkovic and 8 Nuri. Yeah, but you've got Timber and Robinson already for 29, so you're not in a bad position. JC12 says, start Mikalenko or Robinson? That's so close. Maybe if you've got Pickford or something, maybe you start Robinson just to just spread the risk a little bit. I think I would still just about say Robinson. And then Semenyo or Wood. I think Semenyo. So I'd say Robinson and Semenyo. And then you have Kluivert. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, again, spread the risk slightly and don't want to risk a stinker from Bournemouth ruining your week, then maybe go Chris Wood. But I would go Robinson and Semenyo. Trina says, how would you use triple captain if you still had it? Which game? Game week 32 for Isak against United and Palace. Or game week 36 for Haaland against currently Southampton, but City might have a double in 36. They're one of the only few teams that have a chance of doubling in 36. Villa could double, Spurs could double, Bournemouth could double, City could double. I think that's largely it, unless the Premier League do something crazy. Would you sell Palmer and Isak for Erling next week? Yeah, I'd be fine doing that. I'd need to see the rest of your team, your plan, your team values, stuff like that. But in isolation as a question, I think Palmer and Isak out to get Haaland in makes sense. Dennis says, yo Dennis, Verbruggen, Trent, Gabriel, Munoz, Murphy, Salah, Palmer, Rogers, Isak, João Pedro, Wood. Very nice. Bench of Fabianski, 8 Nuri, Ola Aina, and Dango. Okay, very nice. Solid bench. 3.2 in the bank and 5 free transfers. My guy, what do I do? Need 1 transfer so I don't cap. Help. Okay, so blankers, Trent, Munoz, Murphy, Salah, Rogers, Isak. This list is getting long. Okay, so you've got 6 blankers and Dango is an issue. So what is the priority transfer this week? What would I do? And João Pedro's not great, I suppose. I think I would do Murphy to Semenyo or Kluivert. and then leave it there, and then have 5 free transfers for next week. If you don't like Murphy to Semenyo or Kluivert, I think your next best option. What's your next best option? Maybe Dango to Semenyo or Kluivert as well. I think you make a midfield transfer because you've got Rogers, Murphy that are both blanking next week, along with Salah, of course, and you've got Dango as an issue. So I think make a midfield transfer and then roll the rest. Thank you for the support as always. George says, with Dango being a minutes risk, would you start him or just play Wood? I would absolutely play Chris Wood ahead of Dango, yeah. Definitely play Chris Wood. 90 minutes of Chris Wood confirmed. With Dango, it could be as little as like 5 mins, and then that's an absolute nightmare. It's almost a guaranteed 1 point. I mean, there's always the chance that he does something off the bench, Dango. And I suppose there is like a 10% chance he starts. You never know. But everyone is predicting a Dango benching that supports Bournemouth. All of the Bournemouth journalists, like no one's predicting a Dango start. So I think it would be foolish to like be hopeful for a Dango start. And if you're pleasantly surprised, great. But in a situation where you can bench him, I would. I am even tempted to start Robinson ahead of Dango. That's how bad it is. But I just think that's a bit boring. So I'm going to leave Robinson on the bench. Would you do Cunha to Beto or start Robinson? I would do Cunha to Beto as long as that doesn't interfere with your long-term plans. Hey, Raptor, start Kluivert or Wood? I would start Kluivert ahead of Wood, personally. Bench 1 of 8 Nuri or Gvardiol. Hard to bench Josko. Yeah, I would bench Ryan 8 Nuri, probably. Saptashi says, hi, Ross. I have Trent, Gabriel, Kirkes, Williams, Bednarek as my back 5. Want a long-term replacement for Bednarek with 1 million in the bank, as I've already played the wild card. You've already played the wild card. Okay. I tell you what, Munoz is probably your best option. If you can get away with having another player blanking in 29, because from 30 onwards, Munoz is the best defender to own. If you can't do that, who's a good long-term option that also plays in 29? Oh, that's a tough one. There's not really. Because the best players to own from 30 onwards are going to be Aston Villa, Newcastle, and Crystal Palace. One sec. I might have... Oh, that's not good. I might have thought of an option. I want to check his price. How much is Kushanov? No. Okay. Oh, is that how you spell his name? Defenders. Man City. If I said, is his name not that? Oh, it's okay. 5 million. I think he's going to start every game now. Ake's out, isn't he? Kusanov? Is that how you pronounce it? Butchering his name. Sorry. Man City defender's not a bad shout. And I think is Bednarek 4 mil. So you've got 1 mil in the bank. Maybe Kusanov. Bednarek. Yeah. I'd go there. There you go. There's my... And that's a very big punt, by the way, but could work out for you. Got 37 minutes until the deadline. 37 minutes. Can everyone like the stream? Yes. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you, Indy. Kusanov is pronounced with an F instead of a V. Kusanov, like that. I'm still probably butchering it. My bad. Feels like everyone is rolling. It does feel that way, doesn't it? But that's not a bad thing. These weeks happening. You can't just force transfers for the sake of it. It's called action bias. Look at this. We're doing like a psychology lecture. Sometimes it's better to just sit back and not do something than to do something, you know? You having fun over there?
No.
You still doing your LinkedIn profile?
I can do a bit of it before I
Oh, big stretch. Sorry, chat. That was needed. Oh, that felt great. Thank you, Ross. Really like your content. Thank you, Forest Spirit. I appreciate that. Just transferred in Chris Wood for Mateta. I like it. Ross, what are your thoughts on Marmouche? He's fine. I don't think he's like game breaking, but I do think he's a really decent transfer in. Morning, Ross. Do you think this is rogue? Gordon out, Bellegarde in. How likely is Bellegarde to start every game? What have his minutes been like? I don't know. If you think his minutes are secure enough, then go for it. Start Mikalenko or 8 Nuri. I would go 8 Nuri, personally. Although for my prediction, I've got Wolves 0, Everton 1. So in that case, maybe Mikalenko. Love the work. Love the work you out behind Ross. Wait, what? Love the work you out behind Ross. Well, I'm going to say thank you because I feel like this is a compliment. I'm struggling to work out what the typo word is. Love the work you out behind Ross. Don't know, but thank you, Harshil. Appreciate you very much. I want to get rid of Pedro ASAP. Gives me a headache every week. I don't blame you. I would also want to. Your mic is broken. Chat, is there any issue with audio or is there an issue with this person's headphones? Let me know. I think you missed my super chat. Okay, let me get into that in a second. Sorry. Put instead of out. I love the work you put behind, Ross. That still doesn't make sense, though. Does it? I'm not sure. I appreciate the love, though. It's the thought that counts. I'm looking for it, Lee. Don't see it. Where is it? Okay, I've got you, my friend. I'm here. Lee says, hi Ross, who to play? Henderson, Pickford, Gabriel, Trent, Munoz, Kirkes, Aitnuri, Salah, Mbermo, Wanyeri, Palmer, Cliver, Wood, Beto, Marmouche. Okay, so keepers, I'd start Henderson, bench Pickford. In your defence, I would bench Kirkes and Aitnuri. And in your attack, that is very tough. I would probably bench Wanyeri. So I would bench Pickford, Kirkes, Aitnuri, and Wanyeri. It's a lovely team though, mate. Super strong team. A very, very, very strong team. Best 4 million defender is Cresswell an option. Cheers. 4 million, I would say Agbadu. Agbadu should be back in the starting 11 very soon. He's got Southampton in 29. I'd go Agbadu. Audio is fine. Audio is fine. Audio is fine. Okay. It's cutting up every 10 seconds. Oh, sorry. Hopefully it's okay now. Agbadu, do. And then you can just sing that every time you say Agbadu. Dashmate, good to see you, my friend. Says good morning. Good morning to you. Okay, so your team. What would we do? 0.1 million, 1 free transfer. Suggestion or roll, free hit 29. Okay. You're on free. Are you asking if you should free hit 29? So you've got Trent blanking, Rodgers, Soboslai, Salah, Luca Dean. I don't know that you need a free hit in 29, no. I would probably lean towards saying no to the free hit in 29. My concern is Soboslai. I don't think he starts, but I don't know why I think that. It's just a gut feeling. So you might want to start Chris Wood instead of Soboslai. But if Soboslai does start against Southampton, that's an awful decision. So maybe leave it as it is. That would be my only slight concern there, is I just don't know that he definitely starts. I think he's played a lot of minutes recently. Harvey Elliott's been decent. Curtis Jones needs a game. I just think there is a chance that Soboslai miss. I think McAllister and Soboslai could both miss out. I wouldn't be surprised if their midfield three is Gravenberch, Curtis Jones, and Harvey Elliott. Nemanja says Pickford, Trent, Munoz, Gabriel, Robinson, and Mbermo, Bowen, Salah, Cliver, Wood, Wisser, bench of Raya, Dango, Aina, and Cunha. Would you do anything different? I think it's a lovely team, mate. The only thing I would do different is I would be very tempted to start Raya, but I suppose you've already got Gabriel. Maybe you just want to differentiate and diversify the risks slightly. I don't hate starting Pickford, but I think I would expect Raya has a greater chance for a clean sheet. In fact, in my predictions, I've actually got both Pickford and Raya keeping a clean sheet. So it probably tells you that they've both got a good chance. Dennis says, Dango to Cliver, done. Do I bench Pedro or Murphy? That's a tough one, actually. Maybe just to give yourself a player on the Monday, you bench João Pedro. But I think João Pedro is probably a slightly better option than Murphy. So I would probably start João Pedro. But if you want to just give yourself, like I say, a player on Monday night, which is nice sometimes, is maybe you just start Murphy. If you've got doubt, always pick the best player. Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Damn, I hate that Dango transfer in. Gives me an enormous headache. Oh, I regret it so much. I regret Dango so much. How much damage can Salah do in 75? A lot. Salah could do damage in 5 minutes. He does tend to do a lot of his best work, though, like I said, in the final 20 minutes of the game. So if he's off the pitch for that, it's not great, is it? Matuata says, been too long. Hope you're doing well, Rosso. I am doing well, thank you. Still have my assistant manager chip and 3 free transfers. Who are your best Cunha and Hall replacements? Chris Wood, Wissa, Beto, Marmouche, even Ilson. Any of those for Cunha. Really just depends on like what risk appetite you have, how much you want to try and gain rank versus protect and all that stuff. I think Chris Wood is, in isolation, the best option. And best Hall replacements would be Gvardiol, 8 Nuri, or a Forest defender. Probably this week, if you're going this week, it's 8 Nuri. Yeah, good position, though. 3 free transfers, assistant managership in the back pocket. Could go very well for you. Jose Sarr in goal. Jose Sarr's great. If I was on a wild card, I'd have Jose Sarr this week. If you are on a wild card, that's my tip to you, is to have a goalkeeper pairing of Henderson and Jose Sarr. Nice and cheap. Henderson has great fixture in 28 and 30. And has a double in 32. Jose Sarr has Southampton in 29 to cover you. Really nice combination. Okay, Pickle.
Yeah, I need to make sure I don't forget about the deadline because I'm just doing other things.
What are you doing for your team, or are you not?
I'm just rolling, I think. But
Okay.
I just need to make sure everything's okay.
Start Beto or even Ilson. That's incredibly tough. I might go even Ilson, you know. Anfield Agenda predicted Salah not to start. If Salah's benched, that is going to cause chaos. Hey, how come you're not coming to the FPL meets in London? I don't live in London. I live in Nottingham. So it's a long way to come. I'm in London every Monday anyway, which is already a lot to do. So yeah, I just want to just chill at the weekends, to be honest. As much as I would love to, I don't live in London, so it's a bit of a trek down for me. So I then have to either pay for a hotel or then travel back to Essex to stay with my mum. Like it's a lot, you know. Sadly, I might do a meetup in pre-season in the Midlands next season. Or maybe towards the end of this season, maybe. Why even Ilson, though, coming back from injury? Because he's a monster. Gets loads of chances. Bournemouth are brilliant. Fixtures are there. Let's do a Salah prediction. I'll do a poll right now for a Salah prediction. How many minutes we think he'll get. Salah minutes prediction versus Southampton. Right. So we'll go 80 plus. We'll go 70 to 79. We'll go 60 to 69. And then we'll go 0 to 59. And that's a weird poll, but I think that's the best way to do it. So 80 plus minutes, 70 to 79 minutes, 60 to 69 minutes, and then 0 to 59. Is that the best way to do it? Probably, I don't know. We'll just do that. It's a bit of a weird poll. There is a poll now for you to vote on, a Salah minutes prediction versus Southampton. I won't say what I think yet, but there's a poll, so vote on it. Don't make me question Salah starting at this stage, chat, and then make me want to captain Palmer.
Yeah, that's evil stuff.
That is evil stuff. Should have 0 separately. There's only 4 options on the poll, so sadly I cannot do that. So currently, 40% of you think 70 to 79 minutes, 11% think 0 to 59, and then there's a bit of an equal split around 60 to 69. So basically, if we are bringing this together, about 70 minutes is what people expect. If you think he's going to get 0, great. Then still captain him, because you might be wrong. And if he does get 0, then you get... I'll tell you what, if Salah doesn't play, actually, that's a bit of a nightmare for my team. I'm probably going to have 10 players. Yeah, I agree. Like, Salah doesn't need to do a massive amount of running in this game, does it? It's not like they're starting Salah in a really tough game. Like Liverpool will dominate. Salah will just stand there and score goals. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not thinking about this enough, but I just think it's Salah. And like I say, he wants those records. I know he's not in charge. Slot's in charge, but... we always say Salah might get a rest, like he might get, and then he just doesn't. Right. Where was I? Dennis says, last one, Rodgers or Murphy. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you too. To start, I would start Rodgers ahead of Murphy. Bench one of Dango, Alanga, or Kirkes. I wouldn't bench Alanga of those three. It'd be Dango or Kirkes. Probably still start Dango and hope that he does start or he gets a goal off the bench. Jake Howard says, would you take a -8 to fill a full 11 in Gameweek 29 if it means keeping Salah, or a -4 and keep Palmer instead? So is Salah 4 points better than Palmer as an option from 29? I would probably just take the -8 and keep Salah. Spy on Cop said he thinks Salah starts on Twitter. Let me check that out. I'll do it on my phone to not break my computer. Because he's actually very reliable and he always says stuff and he pretends it's a prediction, but I think he just knows the lineup. Oh, see, Spy on Cop thinks Soberslai starts. So maybe don't listen to me if you own Soberslai. Maybe I'm way off on that. Yeah, he's got Salah predicted to start, and Trent predicted to start, and Kanate, and Soberslai. Ooh, I don't believe that. Maybe, though. I would trust me less than someone like that. Gut feeling says, sell Isak for Darwin. I think you should stop listening to your gut feeling. No, I'm joking. If you've got a good feeling about Darwin, go for it. But bear in mind, again, he's an issue for 29. Munoz captain, am I completely mad? I don't know that you're mad, but I wouldn't be doing it. Oh, now I want to captain Palmer. I don't know how I can do that set with myself again. It's just not worth the stress. If Palmer smashes it, Palmer smashes it. Hopefully Enzo's involved. Game week 29, Isak Palmer or -4 Mateta Trent Palmer to Haaland. I think I prefer the -4 that involves keeping Isak personally. Spy on Cop is hardly ever wrong, maybe 1 to 2 times. He's never wrong when he tweets the lineup, but he's not tweeted the lineup, he's tweeted a prediction, and he does get his predictions wrong. So, yeah, when he tweets and says this is the lineup, it's always right. But that's not what he's done. My brain says Salah, my heart says Palmer. Interestingly, I'd say the opposite. My brain says Palmer, my heart says Haaland. Haaland? Salah. Maybe I should have captain Haaland. Got just over 20 minutes till the deadline. Is it worth making Palmer captaincy at 229k? 229k is a great rank, and you're not far off the top 100. So I wouldn't take risks that you don't believe in. If you believe in the risk, then yeah, it's worth it. Frustrated, I have 1 chip, bench boost, and 1 transfer. I don't know what I'm reading here. Raya, Gabriel Milenkovic, Salah, Mbermo, Cliver, Murphy, Wood, Isak, bench of Sells, Castagna, Gakpo, Lewis Hall. So what's your question and how much do you have in the bank? I think you're fine. So in terms of blankers, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 blankers, yeah. So you can bench 3, take a -4 to field 11. You're in a fine position. Team's not bad at all. Team looks good this week. I wouldn't stress too much. I think your team looks fine, Bilal. Who are the best Rodgers replacements? This week, it's just Bournemouth mids, really. Next week, I think the Forest midfielders come into the question a little bit. Oh, I did that one as well. Cool. Again, if you are one of the 4,000 people watching that are not yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. As I always say, at least 10 to 15% don't subscribe that watch these streams, which means there's at least like 300 to 500 of you that aren't subscribed. So please consider doing so. You can subscribe on your TV. If you're watching on a TV, you can do it on your laptop or your phone. Just scroll down, hit that button. Am I stupid for considering captaining Trent over Salah? No one's ever stupid for doing anything in FPL, so no. Do I think that Trent is a better captaincy option than Salah? No. He needs an attacking return and a clean sheet to get close to what I think Salah will do. And I think Salah returning twice is much more likely than a clean sheet and an attacking return for Trent. Like, if you're looking at odds of that happening, there's a drastic difference between the two. So if you've got a good gut feeling about Trent, go for it. But Salah is a better captain, objectively. Hi, Ross. Any early team news as of yet, mate? Nothing yet. There are a few like predictions flying around, but they're not like super reliable predictions. Trent is 100% coming off 60 or so just a clean sheet bonus is likely. Yeah, unless he comes off at 59, of course. Is Gakpo in the squad? I don't know, but I don't expect Gakpo to start. I'd be very surprised if Gakpo starts, but you never know. Why not Palmer captain, Ross? Because Salah's playing Southampton at home. Nemanja has become a Rap Tier 2 member. Thank you very much, my friend. Odds that Robinson is benched again. Very low, I think. If he is, fair play, we've got another issue. There's always a chance, I suppose, but I would be very surprised. I think it was just a rest. Bench one of João Pedro, Szoboszlai, Watkins, Trossard. Probably João Pedro. I mean, I don't know that Szoboszlai starts, but a couple of Liverpool fans have predicted him to, so maybe I'm just wrong on that one. I just thought Szoboszlai would be rested. Best Hall replacement this game week, not considering using free hit in 29. 8 Nuri, Gvardiol, Milenkovic. Tony says, happy weekend to you and Pickle. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. What chip are you playing today? There is no chip active today for me. I'd like some McDonald's fries, though, if we're talking about chips. Oh, big stretch again. Oh, chat, there's nothing better than a big stretch. Beto or Wood to start? I'd probably start Beto. Big bad Beto. You missed my super chat. Sorry, mate. Let me check. You okay then?
Oh my god, I need to focus on FPL.
Forked says Arseman 3, 31 to 33. Free hit 34. Wildcard 35. Bench boost 36. Why not? Why not? Okay, I can give you some why nots. 34 might not end up being a good week to free hit. That's the first thing. The second thing is, can you get through from 31 to 33 without a wild card? That's the next thing. Like, can you put out a really good team in double 32 and double 33 without a wild card? Most people probably can't. Then the final thing is game week 36 isn't definitely a double game week. The game week 36 could be a single week. So you might be bench boosting in a single. And it's a late time to wild card. So lost connection. Oh no. Chat, are we back? Can you hear me? Chat, I miss you. Come back. Oh dear. Now's not the time. Can you hear me? Can you hear? Okay, we're back.
I think it was me, sorry.
That's all right.
I've come off.
It's not your fault. Okay, we're back. We back. Shazam with a. It says, look in the chat. Look at what Shazam's just done. Shazam's just sent a big £20 super chat and just said, "Go get you and Pickle a Mackie D's and lunch on me. Enjoy."
Oh, that's very sweet.
What's an absolute legend.
Thank you, although you're promoting
You are promoting some naughtiness there, Shazam. So
we were a bit naughty last night in terms of food, guys. That's what I'm referring to.
yeah, Jesus.
I think we had a milkshake.
We did have a Kinder Bueno milkshake, and I'm supposed to be dieting,
That
but
was his idea, by the way.
it was, yeah. Thank you very much, my friend. That's very sweet.
Yeah, thank you. That's very sweet.
Very, very sweet. Who to bench? Says FPL Haley. Good to see you. I was going to say my friend. You're not really my friend. You're my sister. But you are my friend. Wood, João Pedro, Mbermo, Isak, Cliver, Bowen. Probably JP. Probably JP. In terms of who I wouldn't bench, I would never bench Mbermo. Isak's too good even if he's a risk. Cliver, no. It's probably Wood or João Pedro. I think I'd bench João Pedro because he's the biggest minutes risk there. just about.
Upload my team or my test on the benches.
Gakpo to Haaland -4 this week. Yeah. Depends who you're selling to get the funds to do Gakpo to Haaland, but yeah, I like that, Phil. Start Aina over Robinson. Why do you think City score 4 away to Forest? Should I switch? Oh, you are starting. That's just a gut feeling thing. I wouldn't pay too much attention to my predictions. I think City will score, but I've also got Brighton to score. I think Robinson is slightly more attacking than Aina. So yeah, I would start Aina over Robinson, but I probably recommend you just trust your gut feeling on that one. Ariel says, Game week 29, Haaland, Alanga, Munoz, bench or different. What? Game week 29, Haaland, Alanga, Munoz, bench or different. Oh, that's a tough one to make sense of. Are you saying you're buying Haaland, Alanga, and then Munoz to bench them? Yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, I probably wouldn't buy Munoz in 29 then, if that's what you're saying. I'm very sorry. There's probably a better explanation of what that's trying to say, but... Best Hall replacement this... I did that one, didn't I? Yeah. We've spoken about Hall replacements quite a lot. You've got just under 15 minutes till the deadline. Just under 15 minutes. Abdirahman says, start one of Wood, Watkins, or Wisser. The 3 Ws. Start one. Why are you only starting one? Surely you can start 2. You're only starting 1 there, Wisser. If you're starting 2, Watkins and Wisser. Start one of 8 Nuri, Kirkes, or Aina. Start 1, I would start 8 Nuri.
Is this game week 28?
Yeah. You doing your tweet?
Yeah.
It's so sad that your team is mine, but you've got Clivert instead of Dango. So just guaranteed a better week.
Should have picked Clivert then, shouldn't you?
MN Chucks no, because I'm not a template WA and KER. MN Chuckster says, hi Ross, would you rather sell Gordon for Mbermo or Bowen? Or do you have any other tips? My midfield is Clivert, Palmer, Salah, Sarr, Gordon. Thanks. I think, given the fixtures, I might lean Jared Bowen. What I would do, though, is look ahead to Game Week 29 if you've got time over the next 12 minutes. Do you need the money? Is it worth going a bit cheaper? Because if you did Gordon to Semenyo, maybe not quite as good as Bowen or Mbermo, but does that free up the funds to allow you to go and get an Erling Haaland, for example? If you don't need the money for 29, I would actually lean Jared Bowen, personally. What's this? Oh, I can't read that. That's sad. I'll tell you afterwards. This chunk sent me something. Sorry. Right. Start one of Wood, Watkins. No, I did that one. My bad. Okay, we're caught up. We're caught up. Just over 10 minutes left. Just over 10 minutes left.
OMG. Why emoji so hard to find?
Man City double game week when? Almost definitely City will double in 33. Ross, it's all kicking off on Andy's stream about you. Apparently someone called me... Apparently someone called Andy Ross on a super chat, and it's all kicked off on Andy's stream about me. I don't know. Yeah, probably. I get called Andy in every stream. Half the messages say, hi, Andy. Bench one of Mbermo, Isak. Oh, that message disappeared. Bench one of Mbermo, Isak, or Wood. Bench 1, I would bench Christopher. And then Aina or Robinson, I'd probably bench Ola Aina. Sorry, disrespecting Nottingham Forest as always. I'm the one that did that. Fair play, AG. You're in the wrong stream. Hey, Ross, I can get a maximum of 9 players next week with free transfers. Okay. Should I free hit next week or start 10 players for -4? Oh, I'd start 10 players for -4. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big love, though, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. So I have reason to believe that predicted lineup from Spy on Cop was probably correct. You know, that he was tweeting on Twitter. So maybe if you've got Soberslay, I would probably start Soberslay. So don't listen to me. If you've got Soberslay, start him. I reckon what he put out on Twitter was probably not a prediction. It was actually just the team. Ross, the audio is still cutting in and out. It's weird because there's only like 2 people that keep saying that. Oh, my computer is my computer is having a bit of a fit, sorry. Just under 10 minutes until the deadline. Just under 10 minutes. Start for Bruggen or Pickford? That's a tough one. I think Pickford. Triple captain Salah or Isak in a double? I'd rather go Isak in a double, Anna. Yeah, I would probably go Isak. Just because we think that Salah's minutes could be slightly reduced as well. Bench Wood or Bowen? Probably Wood, but that is a very difficult decision. Start Bowen or Rodgers? Ooh, that's a tougher one. I think I would still go for Jared Bowen at home. Salah says, Gameweek 28 team. Okay, I won't read it out, but I've got you. Good luck, Ross. That's a very nice team. Got some nice cheeky punts in there that not many other people have, like Kudus in there, Strand Larsen, Colwill. Very unique team. I like to see... And Jose Sarr as well as a goalkeeper. That's a lovely team, mate. Yeah, really strong. You seem to be fairly well set up for 29 as well. Very nice. Should I start Bruno or Even Ilson? Even Ilson. Bench one of Cliver, Sarr, Bowen, Wood, Isak, Wisser. Cool, that's a tough one. Probably Chris Wood. If not Chris Wood, then it would be Jared Bowen, I think. It'd be between those two, Wood or Bowen. I do every week say that I don't mind benching Chris Wood, though, and he just smashes it. So maybe don't listen to me. Wisser has a better fixture than Wood. I would agree with that. I think it's a slightly better fixture. What midfielder should I buy for Ahmad? I still think you're looking at a Bournemouth midfielder, Semenyo or Cliver. I wouldn't buy Dango now in a million years, so Semenyo or Cliver. Sort your bench out, Ross. What do you mean? It's fine, isn't it? If you mean switching Mateta and Robinson, then I don't need to do that because if Mateta doesn't play, I'll get Robinson anyway. So I don't need to switch. Any Darwin leaks for a 1 week punt? How's it? I'm 90% sure Darwin will start this. He's got to, right? I think they'll bench Jota. So bench Jota. Start Darwin. BJ says, "Hey Ross, your mate BJ here. Good to see you, my friend BJ. 2 free transfers. I can make a full team this week. Do I sell Cunha for Wisser or roll? If you want to get Haaland, roll. If you don't want to get Haaland, yeah, just do Cunha to Wisser this week. It's a good entry point against Aston Villa at home. But, like I say, anyone that's selling Cunha to Wisser, it might block them from then going and getting Haaland. But that depends, can you get Haaland? Do you want him? Who to sell for Haaland in 29? Isak or Mateta? I think you've likely got more money tied up in Isak. And you're going to definitely want Isak from 30 onwards. You're probably going to want Mateta as well, by the way. But I would probably keep Isak and sell Mateta. Would you start Elanga over Dango? Yes. Just tuned in. I have both Wood and Hall. 1 free transfer. Wood's fine. I don't know why Wood would be an issue. Lewis Hall I would sell, but only if you need a defender this week. Otherwise, I would make the move next week. And then more options open up to you because Game Week 29 is right in front of you. How many minutes does Gakpo get? My prediction is 0, but I think there's also a chance for like 20, 30 off the bench. Because they might want to give him minutes before PSG. Because I think if he's fit for PSG, they probably want to start him. You missed my paid question. You've said this, James, but I really can't see it. I looked like 4 times. Let me look once more. Start Wood or Beto? I answered that one. If that's the one you're asking about, I said I would just about start Beto. Just about start Beto. Here's a fun one. Bench Wood or Sar? Oh, definitely Wood. Ismail Sarr's a great option this week against Ipswich. And his minutes will be even better, right? Because there's not going to be an Nketiah coming off the bench potentially to sub on for him. I'm really jealous of people that have Eze this week because he'll be on penalties now without Mateta as well. Gakpo to Marmouche. Don't mind it. Yeah. Don't mind it. Will Doherty play? I thought it was a dead cert, yeah, but FPL Blackwolf said there's a chance he doesn't. I mean, I would still be happy to start him, but maybe I wouldn't go out there and buy him now. Maybe I'd probably go Agbadu instead. Although, again, there's a chance that Agbadu doesn't start because he's just come back from injury. Nuri, Nico Williams, or Howson? To buy or start? If it's to start, 8 Nuri. And to be fair, it's to buy 8 Nuri, so I'm just going to say 8 Nuri. Marmouche to be benched. I don't think Marmouche... Oh, everyone's saying Marmouche doesn't start. Really? Where are you seeing that? Talk to me. Give me a source and I'll whip it up. We've only got 3 minutes, so give it to me early. Oh. Why have Lazy FPL called him Marmouche? Marmouche. That's a bad typo. That's not even a typo. They just literally don't know how to spell his name. Marmouche. Sorry, that made me laugh more than it should have. Marmouche doesn't start for City. As always, please use leaks at your own discretion. They did say it's a fresh source, and they have been wrong once or twice before. They've just said that their accuracy is 95.2%. I like that they've actually got a history, a tracker of their source and how accurate they've been. But anyway, Marmouche does not start. That's strange. I just whistled. That's surprising. But as I always say with Man City, nobody knows. Right? It's very unpredictable with Pep. I do find that surprising, though. Marmouche benched, Marmouche starts. Yeah, so according to this source, Marmouche is benched. I'm trying to see if I can find anything else or like confirmation of that. Yeah, they're the only people tweeting that at the moment. Oh, Main Road's just tweeted. 1 sec. I'm getting that. I'm getting it. Main Road. FPL Main Road tweeted. Foden starts, Marmouche benched. Confirmed from 2 accounts now. Marmouche benched, Foden starts. So if you've got Marmouche, bench Marmouche. Makes it nice and easy if you've got a benching dilemma. If you've not got a benching dilemma, then that sucks. I know people have bought him this week as well. Okay, from FPL Tony's Patreon. I'm not leaking it, but someone said it in the chat. Marmouche, KDB, and Lewis don't start, apparently. So no Rico Lewis, no Marmouche, no KDB. Foden starts. You've got just under 2 minutes till the deadline. Jay Stoneley says, sorry, I've just seen this. Kepa, Trent. Okay, you give me your team. No time to read it out. 12-point hit taken, ready for 29. Good luck. Banging team. Yes, you've taken a 12-point hit, but it looks good. I like it. I respect it. Dave says, best way to get Haaland next week. Salah and Cunha to Cliver and Haaland free. Or Trent Palmer Cunha to Gvardiol, Wanyeri and Haaland. I wouldn't want to sell Salah, so I'll say the Trent Palmer Cunha route. I wouldn't want to sell Salah. Does Konate start? There are suggestions that Konate starts, but I don't know 100%, but that is the rumour. Start Wanyeri or Dango? I'd start Wanyeri because I don't think Dango starts, so I'd have Wanyeri.
Would you start Raul or Robinson?
Raul. Yeah. And hope that he starts. Dango or Wood to start? I would start Chris Wood ahead of Dango. Does Trent start? I think so, yeah. I think so. You got. By the time you hear my voice, you'll have like 5-10 seconds. Get your teams locked in. I'm gonna leave it as is. I'm gonna leave it as it is. Let me make sure I got a screenshot of my team. I think it's going to be a red arrow for me this week, sadly. But there we go. Right, we are locked. Sorry, yeah. So his name's Waneri, not Wanyeri. Okay, Waneri. Okay, I'll get that. Waneri. That's it. We're done. Do you think Allison starts? It's too late, but yes. I reckon it will be minimal rotation. I'm going to go for a little wee in a second, but please stay. We'll stream until the lineups at least 11:15, maybe even 11:30. Who knows? Yeah, it does feel like a bit of a meh game week. I agree with that, Luke. Does Pickle have pickles in her burger?
Yeah.
Damn right she does. Otherwise I wouldn't be with her.
Love pickles.
She loves pickles. That's where the name Pickle came from. Right, I'm going to go for a wee. Do you want to sit on the stream?
Absolutely not, but I can talk, maybe.
No, because then they're going to hear my piddle.
I don't hear your wee.
You'd have to get much closer, though, because you'd have to literally like sit here off the thing and talk.
The issue is I don't have the chat up right now.
No. Oh, yeah, that's true.
1 second.
Okay, so I'll wheel my
you
chair
mute?
over. Did I what?
Did you mute?
No, it's not muted.
Oh. Let me hide
That's
the
as far as I can get the mic to you. So if you're going to have to sit.
No, don't worry about that.
Okay.
I'll sit here.
But you need to shout then.
Well, first of all, can you hear me?
Chat. I'm going to just leave. I'm going to go for my wee.
Yeah,
Just be loud.
Pickles are not the worst thing in a burger. I thoroughly disagree. I think the worst thing in a burger is mayonnaise. I'm really sorry. Controversial opinion, possibly.
Correct opinion. Actually, raw onion.
Raw onion's not great, in all fairness, but I think that people who put tons of mayo in their burger, it absolutely ruins the burger. And I just think it's just not the one. Oh god, there's so many chats. I can't come to the chair because I'm not looking too good right now, I must admit. I've got Sudocrem on my face, you know. Ah, thanks guys. Apparently the audio keeps cutting in and out.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Has it been like that the whole stream? Oh.
I think so.
No, I'm not coming on camera, guys, sorry. How we met? Well, I have been watching Ross for quite a long time. I think I started watching him around 3 years ago now. And I used to be in the streams all the time. I was like a regular, like, commenting and things like that. Well, as time went on, I became more confident at, like, messaging on there. And I don't know, somehow Ross found me on Instagram because I'd followed him on Instagram and he slid into my DMs. And yeah, that's just how it ended up turning out. Things went from there, you know. So yeah, a bit cheeky, but how do I always get 50-50 calls correct? First of all, I do not.
I would like to know that.
First of all, I do not always get 50-50 calls correct, but I go based off gut feeling the vast majority of the time if it is a 50-50 decision. I didn't stalk him, he stalked me. Ross cooked. Yeah, I know. But yeah, I just go based on gut feeling. Like I look at data and things like that, but when I have a hunch about something, it's like when not to brag, but when Rodgers played against Man City at home, I had such a strong gut feeling that he was going to perform that day. And despite the fact that most people were going to bench him that game week, I started him and he got 14-pointer. So, it just happens sometimes. I'm just waffling now.
Right.
Oh, I'm 3.3k if you wanted to.
Hello, geezers. Hello, lemon squeezers.
I don't know how up to date the chat is on here compared to there.
It's about the same, I think.
Oh, okay.
Does Ross ever wash his hat? I washed my hat like 4 days ago.
That's why it's
That's
getting a bit
yeah.
washed out.
That's why it looks washed out. Actually, smells quite good. Smells like lavender pods.
Villa to win the FA Cup. Whoa, one can dream. One can dream.
Very quick poo. No, I didn't poo. I wouldn't have pooed because
Yeah,
the mic was on.
He
You know.
slipped one out.
No, don't start rumours. Need to get my anti-sharp meds out. My farty biotics.
Oh yeah, you're anti-sharp.
Do you moisturise your head? Yeah, absolutely. Bro took a poo, tweeted, and didn't wash. Jeremy, you're such a hater. The hat needs to go. Fine. Get my bald head out. But then I get the bald head out and everyone's like, oh, my eyes. So what do you want from me?
Like the meme from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
My eyes.
I only subscribed because I thought you had hair. Sad. Buy them. Oh, got handprints now. Let's get 1k likes on the stream. Whoa! When did we get that many likes? Can you show us your fingers, Ross?
It's a bit of a weird question.
It is a bit, isn't it?
Aw, I can see a few Villa fans.
Does the egg burn in the sun? Have you got that picture of me with the sunburn? Can you try and locate that?
Mm.
I was wearing my hair like this in the summer, and I didn't sun cream, and I had a big semicircle. It was just before. It was before we went to. It was just before we went to Italy, wasn't it?
Was it? Okay. Oh, it was when we did the barbecue, right?
It got burnt when Joe did the photo shoot. Do you remember of me in the South London kits?
Oh yeah.
So it was around that time, if that helps.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it. Can't guarantee though.
It's like Javinho had a larger forehead. My forehead doesn't look like Javinho's.
I have the photo when your head started peeling.
Oh no.
I haven't found the semicircle.
Ross, I downloaded Club. It's a great game. I agree, Abby. Thank you for downloading, by the way. I appreciate it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Love how every week post-deadline chat is poo talk. I know.
Oh, I found
it. Look how bad that is. Can you see that, chat? Look how awful that is. Look how grumpy I looked. I was so sad. We were going on a holiday like 1 or 2 days after this, and I just got this big burn on my head.
Not ideal. Thank you.
Well done for locating that. The Ronaldo cut, the Ronaldo sunburn. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I literally just forgot to sun cream and forgot that obviously this part of my head was on display.
It's not ideal.
F1 predictions. Lando P1, Piastri P2. Are we talking about Melbourne or are we talking about across the season? McLaren to dominate based on testing. Please answer long question below. Long question?
I'm getting hungry.
I'm starving. Well, Shazam's bought us lunch. What a legend.
Oh. Are we actually going to get a Mackey's?
We'll see. We're gonna get a lunch of some kind, but I don't know. It might be a healthier one or not. Not sure.
Yeah. I'd have lemon tortilla, but I know you probably don't.
Where's this long question? Okay. Ross, thoughts on these three options for getting Haaland next week? Trent Palmer Wissa to 8 Nuri Minte Haaland. Okay. Don't love that one as much. Trent Palmer Isak to Gvardiol Alanga Haaland or Trent Gvardiol. I actually think I like most probably the Trent Palmer Isak one. I think you're getting such better options. Trent Palmer Wissa to 8 Nuri Minte and Haaland doesn't feel as great. And I don't like selling Wissa. I would probably do 2. Luckily, you have a very handsome face, mate. Thank you. Someone actually said something nice. Chicken selects are the best. Don't talk to me about chicken selects. Gets me excited. I love a good chicken select. Like, I've actually clenched my fist at the thought of a chicken select. We do love chicken selects.
I told my friends yesterday how you broke your pescatarianism for a chicken select.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you plan doing F1 race streams? I would say my knowledge of F1 is really improving, right? But I don't know what I would commentate throughout the stream. I think it'd be really boring watching me. Like, why would you watch me rather than Matt and Tommy from P1? Like, they've got such better knowledge about I was gonna say chip strategies, tire strategies, and about one stop, two stop, and like fuel load and like they know all of that stuff. I would just watch and go, yeah, that person looks good. They look quick. You know, what is a chicken select? It's like a breaded chicken fillet from McDonald's. They're really good. Always get the chicken share box from Mackey's. Is that one with like 12 nugs and 9 selects or something? We get that. I was going to say we get that. I've got that for myself before, so. Matt has zero knowledge. He just screams and talks about Charles. I don't think that, but I obviously Tommy's knowledge is better. I was actually watching the if you watch Matt and Tommy from P1, I was watching a podcast. I didn't realize that Tommy started everything because I didn't watch them when they were WTF1. So yeah, Tommy's the mastermind behind it all. Leclerc smashes Hamilton this season. Thoughts? I don't think he smashes him, but I do think he'll finish ahead. Yeah. Oh, I am hungry. Read the super chat or I cry myself to sleep. Which super chat? Oh, I cave and sold Luca Dean for Semedo, Southampton 29. I like it. The dream is alive that he'll outscore 8 Nuri. Do you plan on... I did that one. Where was I? Get a bit confused now. Who are your favourite comedians? Shall I upset you? Would you like me to upset you? I don't like comedians. That's the wrong statement. I don't mind comedians as people. I don't like watching comedy sketches. Like, it feels too forced. Like, watching someone try to be funny is just not for me. Do you kind of get what I mean?
Yeah, kind of. The only one that I used to watch a lot was Russell Howard, but that was back in the day.
Yeah, and I feel like his humour doesn't really carry across now. I don't know. Like, I would rather watch a YouTuber doing a vlog that's just a funny YouTuber. Or do you know what I mean? Like, more in a natural habitat. There's something very forced about watching someone try to be funny on a stage. I think I'm alone in that, though. I know a lot of people like comedy. It's not that I don't like comedy. Ross hates all comedians personally, confirmed. Thanks. You don't like Ricky Gervais. I'm not going to get into this because the answer is no, but I don't want to upset people. Could you explain how club works, please? You basically just... It's essentially fantasy football, but you're also growing your club as well, which gives you a bigger wage bill, a better stadium. So it's like fantasy football, but it's got more to it, I suppose. So this is like your stadium when you load it in. Obviously, it is green, but... And then you go head-to-head against someone each week. So once you can see at the top there, that's my head-to-head opponent this week. And then this is my team. It's a beautiful team, to be fair. You're not going to be able to see it properly because, again, the green screen ruins it. It's worth checking out. I'm wondering if I can get you the link, actually. Let me see if I can get you the link. 2 seconds, chat. If you want to download it. If you are going to download Club, make sure you use my link because it's an affiliate link and it helps me. This isn't a sponsored stream, but we do love Club. Where is it? There. Where's the link? Give me the link. Show me the link. Here we go. Copy link address. If you want to download Club and you're in the UK or the Nordics, I think it's available in some other countries, actually. That link should take you to the App Store. Don't know if it will, but we'll see. Ben says, Game Week 30, Trent and Palmer to Mateta and Wan-Bissaka. Sorry, Trent and Palmer and Mateta to Wan-Bissaka, Savio and Haaland, / Gabriel and Alanga and Haaland. So Wan-Bissaka, Savio, Haaland, or Gabriel, Alanga, Haaland? I think I prefer Gabriel, Alanga, Haaland. Gabriel, Alanga, Haaland, Ben. And yeah, I like that as a set of transfers. Very nice. I'll be doing something similar-ish. In fact, I'll be doing something very similar, probably like Gvardiol, Semenyo, Haaland, or something like that. My starting team is awful. I've got to get grinding. Yeah, you absolutely do have to grind. I've put in like... Actually, it got updated. That's probably like 5 months of work to get to that team, and I play it a lot. So you don't just get... I like that, though. It's not very satisfying to just get a good team immediately in a game. So I quite like that you have to work hard. Are you a power lifter? Are you saying that based on these massive shoulders, mate? No, I'm not a power lifter. I go to the gym. That's it. Just I would call it hypertrophy rather than powerlifting. Ross, I was so impressed that you tagged Planet FPL for your game chip. You're a legend. Wish you guys all the best. What, you mean the shout out for Planet FPL? I love James. James is an absolute legend and much more knowledgeable than I am about that sort of thing. Is FPL Gallagher coming to your podcast? That's freaky unless you know, because he's the guest next week in 2 days. Yeah, FPL Gallagher's the guest for Gameweek 29. If you know who FPL Gallagher is, he's the third best manager in the world over the last 3 seasons. He's finished top 1k twice, and then the other finish was like 1.3k. Like, how insane is that for 3 seasons in a row? Wild. But yeah, he's the guest for Gameweek 29. I'm very excited to talk to him, actually. Are you one of those people who records themselves at the gym and calls girls out for looking in your direction? Firstly, girls don't ever look in my direction. And secondly, no, I don't record myself at the gym. Oh, he said it in his live stream. Perfect. Yeah, he's going to be on Monday. Get Praz as a guest on your podcast. Praz is coming back on before the end of the season. He's already said he will do that. But I already had him in earlier in the season. Can't remember what. It was like game 2 or 3. Right, let's look at the City lineup and the Forest lineup. Sit there. Sit there. Yep, so all of the news was correct. Marmoush on the bench, Grealish on the bench, De Bruyne on the bench, Rico Lewis on the bench. It's a strongish team, though. All right, it's not too bad. Savinho starts again, another start for him. Yeah, no surprises there with that lineup. As expected, their strongest team. I'm hoping for a bit of a fun game as the early kickoff. Don't know how much I expect that though. Get Andy on your podcast and humble his ego down, please. Oh dear. Well, Andy won't come on the podcast anyway because he lives in Ireland and he said he just doesn't fancy travelling for it, which is fair. It's a long way. Chris says, Ross, just a quick request. Can you please get your kneecaps out and put them on camera? I want to get a photo of them and print them off for my bedroom wall. I am a kneecap enthusiast. Would love yours. That's interesting. Never met a kneecap enthusiast. Listen, I get it. We all love a good kneecap. Maybe if you're lucky, Gameweek 38, I'll whip my kneecaps out for you. Now, how I would get my kneecaps up to my camera, that's the better question. Because it's at like head height. So I'd have to do some crazy stuff, really. Or like squat on my desk, but don't know about that. Show your patella. That's a weird fantasy. Listen. You okay?
Yeah, the hunger's intense right now.
So a bit hungry? Have a loaf.
Yeah.
Not a loaf of bread, but you know. Have a loaf. Hashtag show your patella. Get that trending. Not a fan of team sheets in number order. I so agree with that. Get Andy Marston on the podcast. Keep your eyes peeled. I think we might have managed it. My mum is chuckling away. Sorry that your mum's got to listen to this. Only Raptors. We could do it. Oh, my back's killing me. Why not get FPL Cayman or FPL Better? I could do. There's lots of time to get guests on, you know. Continue the stream until bedtime. I think Pickle would die of hunger if that happened. She's over there, very upset. Very head loss. Head's gone again. Did anything actually happen with Andy and Ross, or were people trolling? Apparently, someone sent a super chat to Andy that said "Hi, Ross," and I don't think he took it well or something. But they might have been just trolling about that part. But definitely, someone sent him a super chat that said "Hi, Ross." Do you watch any football YouTubers? Football, probably just Chris MD. I watch his videos. They're very good. Ross, I'm off to the gym now. Thanks for the stream. Great stuff as always. Have a lovely weekend. Good for you, my friend. Hope you have a good gym session. Oh, Nana Raptor said, love to you and Pickle. Hope you have a good weekend.
Oh, thank you, Nana.
Big love, Nana Raptor. We love you very much. This podcast just gets weirder and weirder. Poo, piddle, pickle chat, burger relish advice, and now kneecap passion. The gift that keeps on giving. I mean, when you put it like that, yeah. I haven't even got out my meds yet, my anti-sharties and my farty-bartics. People are going to be really confused if they weren't in the last stream. For those that weren't in the last stream, I'll whip them out. You all right there, Pickle? All right. We've got the first lot of tablets are the anti-sharts. For, not sharting. Then, we've got the farty-biotics. Together, I shouldn't shart. Have you managed to check out Uniqlo yet, buddy? I haven't, no. Nanoraptor is a tech wizard. Who else's Nan knows how to navigate a YouTube live stream? Mental. In her 80s as well, by the way. It's not like I've just got like a 50-year-old Nan. She's in her 80s, navigating a YouTube live stream, making her own FPL transfers on the site. What, like, crazy. Do you want to see my pickle? I can flash my pickle. You ready? Are you sure you want to see my pickle? Okay. Oh. 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 There he is. Oh, which way's the eyes? There. There's my pickle. Best part of your stream is the after stream, like you said to Gary. Yes, that's the best part. I agree. Why are you being sus? I was just showing you my pickle. Not in front of your Nan. Beautiful pickle. I agree. Quite soft. That's not Blactus. Where is Blactus? Is Blactus over there with you? Where's Vincent? You're not listening to me, are you? I'm not paying any attention to what I'm saying. I'm looking for Vincent.
Oh, Vincent. Oh, I have no idea where Vincent is.
Why has Vincent gone walkabouts? Don't know. Is he there?
No.
Where's Vincent? That's really sad. Why has he run away?
That's a question for you, I think.
But he was... I don't know. He was on there. Don't know. The after chat needs copyright-free music. Maybe I can look into that. Sets off my ADHD a little bit. Oh, pickle, I know what you can have as a snack. I've just seen something.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'll wait, because that's crunchy and loud. They're very sweet, though.
You can have them. I'm not going to hear pick.
You know you start feeling a bit sick.
Yeah, have some food.
It's okay.
I don't know when the super chat happens, sorry. What's the psychologist's take on pickle obsession? I don't know, you tell me. Ross, have you ever done a psychoanalytical deep dive into your girlfriend's pickle obsession? No. Vincent Van Gogh. That's good, Claudette. Andreas with the super chat says sending you a super shot. I don't want you to send me your shot. Go get her the Mackie D. She's wasting away. I know Shazam. Bless her. Oh, look at that little sad face. We had breakfast, by the way. She's got no excuse.
I had one little bit of toast.
When does Club come to Singapore? It is coming to Singapore very soon, hopefully. Very, very soon. Watching from Kenya. Big up to you in Kenya, Andrew. He holds Pickle prisoner and doesn't even feed her. Evil man. I will feed her. Don't worry. Bless her. I'm very hungry as well. Should we call it there then? Should we get you some food? That make you happy?
Yes, please, but I feel there's
No, it's okay. I need to get some food as well. Losing our head again. I know, Jeremy. I know.
I never
Well,
lose my head.
I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for being here as always. I've really enjoyed this stream. And I'll catch you in the next one, which will be next Saturday. Again, a nice Saturday morning deadline stream. There will be a video on Sunday, probably a video on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the stream on Saturday. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate being here. Have a great weekend, and I will catch you soon. Do you want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye.